Donald Trump's speech right here live from the Shaw, 5:40 a.m. You can hear us all over eastern Wisconsin right now, and of course all across the Civic Media Network. But the Devil's Advocate's not our first Trump rodeo, Dom.
I thought I'd never have to do this again, and here I am. Every time I try to get out, you drag me back in.
Come on, man. Where else would you want to be in the middle of the political circus?
I don't know. In a cool air-conditioned studio up the street would be pretty nice. They got a fridge and a bar there instead of hanging out with a bunch of people that probably don't know they're supporting a treasonous bastard. Did you know, Crute, that Trump's legal team is in talks with the Department of Justice?
To what ends, Dominic? A plea agreement?
There's discussions happening. Why would there were not a real possibility of indictment?
Well, they're just trying to get subpoenas. How do you serve subpoenas on a former president when he's surrounded by Secret Service agents? That's why you're in negotiations. When will the man surrender for indictment? You don't actually negotiate a plea deal at this early stage.
No doubt, but the fact that the breaking news is that Trump's legal team is in contact, is in talks with the DOJ, that's news, man. I mean, if there's nothing to see here, if this was nothing more than a political witch hunting exercise, not going to go anywhere, no risk of indictment, no risk of any prosecution whatsoever, his legal team would not be engaging the way they are with
Trump, pettiness and spite is apparently to endorse the candidacy of gubernatorial candidate Tim Michels. And Michels just a couple of days ago said, I'm not going to go negative in this race.
Yeah.
Sort of unbecoming, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Until he decided it was absolutely time to go negative. Apparently today is that time, Dom. Over our friends at West Politics reporting, Michels goes after Clayfish in the Wisconsin governor's race. Launched the attack yet against Rebecca Clayfish days, talking about Tim Michels, days after he said that running negative ads is just bad policy, and that politicians who do so are losing. Now, the ad faults Clayfish for not endorsing Trump in the 2016 primary. Really? That's your problem? She didn't endorse in the primary. Almost everybody, of course, endorsed Ted Cruz. This was a never Trump state before right-wing talk radio and Rebecca Clayfish and your girl Leah Vukmer and all the rest. They held their nose and they voted for the man. They embraced the man. Dominic Michels did not vote in that primary because, of course, he lives in Connecticut. But Walker and Clayfish, and Walker was his own presidential candidate, failed. Walker and Clayfish both backed Ted Cruz, who now backs Clayfish and brands her. No, this is what? Michels is branding Clayfish the ultimate Madison insider. Here's what he says. I missed the primary, but I didn't miss the movement. Michels said in a statement he missed the primary because of a sudden, unforeseen major issue on the big Michels Corporation construction project in New York, closer to home.
Right.
Said Trump is always his top choice and he never campaigned for or supported anyone else, unlike Clayfish.
And way to helicopter in at the end of the movement as the Wisconsin Republican Party, in many regards, thanks to people like Tim Michels, they're in disarray, Crute. It's disarray out there. It's crazy out there. And now Michels, are you surprised, though? This is the guy that said he hemmed and hawed during the town hall whether or not he would endorse Donald Trump, and then came out a couple days later once he confirmed that Trump was coming to town for him. Yeah, yes, of course, in case the liberal media wants to know. That's how this guy is. That's how many politicians are. And Tim Michels embodies that flip-flop hypocrisy.
Well, let's just call him opportunistic.
Well,
as I was walking around today, Dom, I did meet a lady who made the same accusation against President Joe Biden.
Which is what, he flip-flop?
Flip-flopper. But before we talk about Kim from Waukesha, Evan, going to need your help here. Evan's not even paying attention. He's not even watching or listening to the same show. Evan, we got a little sound we'd like to play here if you could join us on the air. Evan, I met some former presidents earlier today. Here they are, Dom. Couple of fine gentlemen, air quotes, out front. One was wearing the Abe Lincoln regalia, and the other was Ronald Reagan. And I asked them, I like to ask the people, I introduce myself. I'm Mike Crute, WAUK Radio, because we're in Waukesha. Of course, I'm the lead with the local.
Lead with the homer, right.
You got this one, Evan. You know who I'm talking about, the two former presidents. But I asked the particular people wearing these masks and the full suits, and it's hot out
gotta
here,
be
baby.
hot, man. I don't want to wear that stuff later.
Now, the one guy's carrying an American flag, wearing the top hat. They're both wearing the dead president mask. You know, kind of reminded me of that Patrick Swayze surfing movie. But anyways, I asked the guy his name. He said he wanted to remain anonymous, but as he said, you know he's a Trumpster. Just listen, you'll know why. Play it for the people, Evan. Two dead presidents, Ronnie and Abe.
So, I see who you appear to be, but may I ask who you are?
No, we like the a little bit of an anonymity. You know what I'm looking for? Anonymous.
Anonymous?
Yeah, we like to stay anonymous.
Sounds like you're
Awesome. And why you dressed so hot on a hot day like today?
We're out here to show a little bit of patriotism. You know, everybody likes to see the good presidents come out and about. So, just nice to see people's smiles and reactions when they see us walking around. So.
And gentlemen, you guys start from Waukesha, or what brings you to Waukesha other than a Trump rally?
Just a Trump rally.
Yeah.
We're from a few hours south of here, so we're just a couple boys from Illinois.
Now, Trump's going to come and endorse a candidate for Wisconsin governor. You guys care about that at all, Tim Michaels?
Well, as long as the people of Wisconsin have done their research on their own.
This guy sounds like Tim Michaels trying to answer this question.
Trump's given his endorsement. That's kind of a big thing to follow down the Save America plans. But in the end, everybody needs to figure it out for themselves and make sure they make the right decisions with the research they've done on
woman, camera.
New information has come to light, man.
Just a couple boys from Illinois.
That was Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Abe Lincoln was from Illinois, of course. The party of Lincoln, ? Ripon, Wisconsin, the birthplace of the Republican Party. My friend Tom Boyson owns a radio station there. Don, but let's talk about that Waukesha woman. Her name Kim. Do we have time to play the first cut from Kim?
Let's play. We got a little time.
The first one, I think, as the order we have them. Well, let's just do the one where Kim introduces herself, please.
But may I ask what your name is?
Kim.
Kim, and you're here for a Donald Trump rally, and you guys are having fun with the Let's Go Brandon bus here, taking some photos.
Yes.
Kim, what are you expecting tonight? What are you hoping for tonight?
A lot of positive atmosphere with the real president. Looking to see what all the other speakers have to say. Looking to see what Michaels has to say, kind of still on the fence on who I'm going to vote for governor. Just looking to have a good time with like-minded people.
That's
and
an
you said you're from
one.
Waukesha, so you do have a vote in this gubernatorial primary.
Yes.
Who are you vacillating between, if I may ask?
Between Rampton and Michaels.
Okay. Is Rebecca Clayfish a consideration?
Your boy
She's kind of a local girl left out tonight.
She is, and she's got a lot of good points, but I think that I would have looked for her to do more when she was in office with Scott Walker. A lot of things I don't think quite got done that should have gotten done.
Now, that, of course, demands a follow-up question from yours truly.
Which part? The quote-unquote the positive atmosphere? So no storming of the Capitol. No? Okay. The real president? Real president? What do you mean by real president? Why do you think Donald Trump was the real president? I'm interested to know what your follow-up question is, Crute. Do we have one?
Yeah,
we do.
It got
we
cut
have time
off.
for it, though.
It got cut off, so I gotta interject. The question was, what could she have done better?
What should have gotten?
There's a lot of abortion issues that could have gotten handled, I think, when they were in office. Just didn't quite get there. Not that she's a bad candidate. I just, certain things that I look at.
So if she wins the primary, you'd be okay
They
supporting
did
her.
not outlaw abortion.
Whoever wins the Republican nomination.
And what about the Democratic primary? Obviously, less drama there. It looks like Mandela Barnes will be the Democrat running against Ron Johnson. What do you think about that race? What do you think about Johnson as an incumbent?
Absolutely love Ron Johnson. He has done what he said he was going to do.
Like you, Dom.
He is the man of the people.
Does it bother you at all that he said he was only going to run twice and be done?
No, because look at the shape that the Democrats have our country in. He needs to take care of business. Can't leave it the way it is. Just can't be done.
Yeah, over 500,000 jobs, Crute. I can see why that's so tough for Kim. Wow, man.
Joe Biden kind of on a roll, fella. Donald Trump meeting the Trumpsters right here in Waukesha at the big county fairgrounds. Now, we were out here recently broadcasting with the Democrats. Today, we're broadcasting from the heart of Trump country. But I got to tell you, Dom, it's hot. It makes you crazy from the heat. But most of these people came here
already crazy.
Let's just say pre-cooked. Let's just say. More Devil's Advocates live from the Trump rally, Waukesha, Wisconsin. You're listening on the Civic Media Network. You're listening right here on Devil Radio and the Shaw, 540 AM. Tell somebody we'll be broadcasting all the way up to Trump and beyond.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
President Trump lost the election. Joe Biden won the election.
Collectively, Republicans got 1.661 million votes, 51,000 more votes than Trump got.
He exhausted his cases. He exhausted the court challenges.
All the Republicans voted for Trump the way they voted for the assembly candidates. He would have won.
It was not rigged. It was not stolen. Donald Trump lost the election. Joe Biden won the election. It's really clear.
This message was paid for by the People for People Corporation. Donate online at p4ppc.org.
The Devil's Advocates.
Matt from Mount Horeb. Welcome, Matt. What do you got for us?
I don't get these people, man. All these teachers are groomers and pedophiles. We need them armed to the teeth. The only way.
Right.
I mean, is your name Jeffrey Lebowski? Because your mind is limber.
I
appreciate you listening.
That's a great point, though. Yes, the teachers, they're the ones doing the indoctrination, right? The teachers are the ones that are woke. Give them guns.
Follow the Devil's Advocates on Facebook and Twitter.
I'm just texting him back. I'm just posting a story. I'm just changing the song.
No. When it comes to distracted driving, just don't. Sending a text takes your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds, but in that time, your car can travel the length of an entire football field. Any distracted driving just isn't worth it.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
60% of the time, they're right every time. The Devil's Advocates.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show, coming at you live from the Trump Treason Tour 2022, live in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Folks, we are here so you don't have to be.
I prefer to think we're making a little small-town, hometown radio right now.
Yeah.
When the former president of the United States is within 5 minutes of our studios, how can we not come and get a tan and enjoy the company of all the locals and the imports? Lots of people coming in from Illinois today.
We wait long enough, Crute. He might be permanently established in one of the fine prison facilities we host here in Wisconsin.
Or they'll decertify the election and reinstall the true president.
Yeah. According to Kim?
According to Kim from Waukesha. Now, Kim and her husband were out front. There are lots of vendors out here. We'll talk about the vendors in just a moment. But they were taking photos in front of the Let's Go Brandon van.
Yeah.
And, they were giggling amongst themselves, and they seemed like, some fun-loving people, just sharing some silly snapshots out there in the vendor row. So I met Kim, and her husband kind of snuck around the back. He was observing. I didn't want me putting a move on Kim or anything, but
yeah.
anyways, if you want to see any of my man on the street interviews from earlier today in Waukesha at the Trump rally, just find the Devil's Advocates Radio Show Facebook page. But Evan, let's play the other comment. Evan, buddy, are you playing?
Yes,
yeah, he's playing along at home. He's part of the big show. Evan, let's play the second quote. I asked Kim, not what didn't Rebecca Clay accomplish when she was co-piloting with Scott Walker. Here was Kim Walker's answer.
What should have gotten?
There's a lot of abortion issues that could have gotten handled, I think, when they were in office. Just didn't quite get there. Not that she's a bad candidate. I just, certain things that I look at.
So if she wins the primary, you'd be okay supporting her?
Oh, definitely. Whoever wins the
I'm sorry, guys. I
nomination.
already had you play this one, Evan. So let's end here, and let's move on and talk to. No, that's enough. That's enough. My bad, mea culpa. I met so many fine people today.
Yes, you met a lot of people.
So let's talk about Phil. Phil was in the front row. He was sort of the front row Joe. Technically, Phil was the fourth guy in line.
Front row Phil, man.
Front row Phil. And so I met Phil, and Phil was sort of wearing this mixed garb between, let's call it patriot and Trump cultist. It was all there. It was all together. And so anyways, that's how I introduced myself. I complimented Phil's fine garb and, of course, his patriotic American flag do-rag, to keep the sun off his melon. So here was Phil, and Phil actually had a few interesting things to say. Phil's from West Bend, Wisconsin. Let's start with cut 3.
What's your name, if I may ask?
Cut 3.
Senior.
And where are you here from today?
West Bend, Wisconsin.
Okay, so
he was here with the missus too.
And what are you here to do?
Let's show my support and see what he has to say.
Now you're dressed very patriotically, flag/Trump wearing. That's nice, man. Where'd you get that?
Pardon me?
What's that? Someone gave you that?
Just bought the shirt today and wear a hat.
Get a free bowl of soup with that?
On my head every day.
Looks good on you, though.
You guys are first ones in line here. I think you're in the VIP row, so what makes you guys so special?
Been here since 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, you're just first ones to get here. Oh, okay.
Now,
because he's not coming.
I don't know if you can hear all that, Dom.
The August 20th event you had tickets for? Gotcha. Do you mind if I ask how much those were?
Well, there was a range.
The range, and she didn't tell me which end of the range her and Phil were on. I suspected the low end of the range, but the guy in the very first place and the VIP line, he proclaimed proudly he had paid $1,400 for his Trump Freedom Grifting Tour tickets on the 20th.
And he was first in line?
Well, they were exchanging his paid-for tickets for attendance in the VIP section here. You just got to get here 11 hours before the rally, apparently.
So he paid $1,400 to be first in line.
Oh, worth every penny, he said. Priceless.
Yeah. We have a little bit more here. I think we can jam some more in. Phil, he had to say, and on Joe Biden, cut number 4, please, if you would.
Now, what's your attitude about Joe Biden?
He has always been a flip-flopper in my book, not a very strong leader. And now that he's president, he's just showing his weaknesses even more. I don't like the way he's running our country as a whole.
Gotcha.
We're more divided than we ever were.
How about here in the state of Wisconsin? We got a governor's race. Obviously, Tony Evers is the current governor. If Trump endorses Michaels, does that make Michaels the right candidate for you, or what's your thought?
I personally think that Tim Michaels is the only candidate that has the potential to beat Evers because of his union company or corporation. So he's probably going to get the union, I want to say working class voters, where Evers is still going to get the union teachers votes. But I think all in all, then you're going to have a few swing voters that are going to be in the balance, and I think Tim Michaels might take it.
I did ask Phil from West Bend. He said he used to be a union iron worker. And I said, Republican, union, those two words don't go together in my vocabulary. And you heard him draw the distinction.
Yeah,
of course.
He kind of recorrected himself, talking about union versus working man. Yes.
The working man's with Trump. Those elitist teachers making their $40,000 a year. They're the ones supporting Evers and Biden. He doesn't care for Biden.
Phil from West Bend had some more to say. I want to hear what he has to say about election integrity, Crute. But when he'll talk to these people, I don't like what he's doing. Like, what don't you like? I get the general sentiment, but at some point you got to drill down and articulate something besides what Alex Jones told you.
InfoWars is here. Come back with us. More Devil's Advocates. You can join us on the phones as well. Live from the Trump rally in Waukesha, 844-96-PARTY.
From Portage to Watertown, Devil Radio on WTTN 1580 AM is essential radio to get you through your day. Hi, I'm a pleasant voice reminding you to enable Devil Radio before playing Devil Radio. First, you have to enable Devil Radio, which should be natural to Wisconsinites. Just say, Alexa, enable Devil Radio. Then firmly and confidently say, Alexa, play Devil Radio. This should conjure the Devil Radio app, available at the App Store.
Over the past 30 years, Chad's Design Build has grown and improved how we do things, but we've never lost sight of our commitment to be a great place to work, focused on quality renovations for outstanding clients. Paying a living wage and providing excellent benefits to promote work-life balance does in fact attract outstanding people, which helps to explain our stellar reputation. Thank you, Madison, for 30 amazing years, building a better world one remodeled home at a time. This is Chad Spate for Chad's
Deadly fire. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. Up to 10 people are dead in a house fire early this morning in northeastern Pennsylvania. Nescopec volunteer firefighter Harold Baker tells a Citizen's Voice of Wilkes-Barre that the victims are his relatives, ranging in age from 6 to 70. 3 bodies have been found. 7 others are thought to be in the ruins of the home. The economy has recovered all 22 million jobs lost in March and April 2020 when the coronavirus pandemic slammed the country. President Biden on last month's jobs report.
528,000 jobs. We have now nearly doubled we're almost at 10 million jobs. Almost at 10 million jobs since I took office. That's the fastest job growth in history.
Unemployment matches a 50-year low, 3.5%. Economists had expected only 250,000 new jobs, drop off from June's revised 398,000. Instead, July proved to be the best month since February. I'm Tim McGuire.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair with your headlines. Former President Donald Trump will be in Waukesha today at a campaign rally for construction businessman Tim Michels. Michels receiving the former president's endorsement for governor of Wisconsin earlier this summer. Virtually no other state or federal Republican elected official will be at today's event in Waukesha. A decision from the National Republican Committee site selection team expected today to make the decision to choose Milwaukee or Nashville for the Republican Party's 2024 National Convention. Nashville essentially withdrew their bid earlier this week, so today's announcement is expected to be Milwaukee. Flags around Wisconsin at half-mast today to remember the victims of the Sikh temple shooting in Oak Creek that happened 10 years ago today. Sunny today with a high of 86, cleared tonight, low of 70. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN, 1580 AM.
Kicking ass and taking names since the Wisconsin Uprising. The Devil's Advocates.
Welcome back to the Devils. The Waukesha County Fair. Dominic, we're at the fairgrounds because Donald Trump's coming to the fairgrounds on behalf of Tim Michels, gubernatorial candidate in the great state of Wisconsin. I guess we're here to work on our tans. Sweat the impurities out, man. You know, I went out with Kirk Bankstead last night from the Minocqua Brewing Company, so
nice.
I got a few impurities to sweat out today.
You're in the right spot for it. It is a beautiful day once again in the Midwest. Waukesha, the Trump Treason Tour 2022. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true.
Evan, I want to play the guy that was dressed in the full Trump regalia.
Wait, we still got Phil yet, though.
But we're going to play Phil first.
Yeah.
Phil is the former union guy, the former ironworking union guy from West Bend, Wisconsin. And he was here at the Trump rally, and I asked him one more question. I forget precisely what it was, but you'll get the sense of it.
Voter integrity is what the comments were. Let's hear.
The number one issue for Phil, according to Phil, voter integrity, question mark?
This cycle around, it would definitely be positively voter registration. That's number one, because if all of our society doesn't like how the outcome comes out, and there's too much iffiness to it, then nobody's going to believe it. And that's going to divide us even further, and that's even worse than anything. That'll kill a nation.
Do you believe that Joe Biden was legitimately elected, or do you think the election
let's cut this. We've got some important breaking news at the Trump rally.
Mario Herrera.
I believe we're going to have Gableman on the stage momentarily, the special prosecutor, clearly a partisan. Oh, wait. Is he giving a prayer?
Somebody is.
Ruler of all that is seen and unseen.
Oh.
We, your humble children,
I swear
gather
to God,
before you
that's
today and
Gableman
give you
giving the
thanks
prayer.
for the countless blessings you have granted us.
That
and
is.
to exercise
Other
the
fine
divine
journalists
rights
are
of freedom
confirming.
you gave directly to each human being. We thank you for the courage and wisdom of our 45th president, Donald J. Trump, who more than any other president in the history of our nation
ever
is responsible for returning our nation to the path of protecting and a national culture of life and rejecting the miserable, cowardly, and callous culture of death.
Look at him sweating like a hog up there in the sun.
We
Gableman
implore
wearing
you
a
to
sport
protect
coat,
and guide
sweating
President
profusely.
Trump. We thank you for the freedom to gather here
Kind of looks
today,
like a little like Alex Jones up
mindful
there.
of the warning given by President George Washington that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance, the cost of which is usually paid for in the currency of the blood, sweat, and tears
Of
of
the Capitol
best
Police
from among us.
officers that Trump's people attacked.
Finally, we ask you to give us the graces of your wisdom and your compassion and the strength and courage to give life to all that is the highest and noblest expressions of our nation's ideals.
And
So help me trust. So help me trust.
And the guy hustles the state of Wisconsin for $11,000 a month, giving thanks to the almighty humble God.
Amen.
Amen.
Gableman
Get off the stage. Amen.
gives a speech more like a prayer
It
at
was
the
a
Trump
prayer.
rally. That's quite strange, folks. Quite strange.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in placing your hand over your heart so we can pledge allegiance to the greatest country this world.
We're going to keep talking, man, because we're doing a radio show here. We're live from Trump. They're doing the preliminaries. I wonder if anyone's kneeling right now.
I don't see anybody kneeling at the moment. People are very standing up after doing the Pledge of Allegiance, after the Gableman prayer. And I got to tell you, man, you know how I feel about the whole religion thing. Then a guy like Gableman invoking,
Supreme
wisdom
Court
and,
justice, little separation of church and state.
And
corrupted former Supreme Court
and
justice.
during our commercial break on the big screen here, they're playing. Of course, Trump is here for Tim Michels, running for governor of the state of Wisconsin, and they're playing one of his ads. And one of the first Michels ads I saw, I just was like, "You got to be kidding me! This guy's a total d-bag." And he talked about when he took an oath to support God, family, and country when he joined the armed forces. I'm thinking to myself, really? Shouldn't country be first? Because if you say the first thing you are down for is supporting what your God is, then you absolutely are putting country behind that. And that is not a very patriotic thing, in my opinion.
Come on, man. I think we got a barbershop, the American anthem here in a second. We may have to break away because we are Americans. We'll monitor the situation here. Pretty soon, Evan, I'd like to play the young man dressed as Donald Trump. Oh, barbershop quartet. Very patriotic. We'll play it for you.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free,
land of the free,
and the home of the brave.
Drop the puck. Buddy, I heard the wind blowing across the microphones there. It used to be a barbershop quartet, but since COVID, they're down to two.
Terrible.
I heard that wind blowing across the microphone, Dom, and I thought for a second there might be a flyover. We are near the airport here in Waukesha as well. I wonder if they're going to fly Trump in on Trump Force One. How do you think he gets here, to Waukesha specifically? I mean, do you think they fly him into Mitchell and then do some sort of motorcade?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the size of the Waukesha airport is, but I want to get
Adam
back to
Steen, man, Adam Steen, my boy.
Oh no, he's not.
I encourage you to consider crossing over and voting for this Yahoo. He is Adam Steen. I've never seen him. Now I'm at least going to see him. Let's hear
He's
what
like
he
a
has
younger,
to say.
thinner you.
Yeah, good looking lad.
Every time he mentions God, you have to drink.
Is anybody here excited that President Trump is in Wisconsin?
Woo! No, not really. Not really.
Woot, woot.
This is a great day for the state of Wisconsin.
Don't even put him on the
Before we get started, I want to introduce a special man. My grandfather, William Frazier, in the 82nd Airborne Division, came with us today.
Guy looks nothing
And I'd like all the military, retired, active,
good looking,
and current veterans, would you please stand right now?
Since he encouraged me to stand as a veteran, Dom, I feel I must. I wish he wouldn't clap in the microphone like a jackknife like that. You realize that's a live mic there you're clapping into, Steen. Probably his first public appearance.
This is the guy Donald Trump is endorsing against sitting Assembly Speaker Republican Robin Vos.
None of us would be here without the sacrifices of all of you and your friends. Thank you so much for your service.
Yeah, remember the good old days when we used to kill fascists? It's true.
I'd also like to take a second to thank the man of the hour, President Donald J. Trump.
They know he's the former, right? They do know that, don't they, Dom?
for his endorsement of me and his support of the great state of Wisconsin.
Well, Kim doesn't think so. Your friend on the street.
Well,
She's not
folks,
the only
no
one.
matter how you slice it, something seriously rotten is going on in Madison. My name is Adam Steen, and I am here to clean up the swamp.
Isn't that the line from Gallup campaign?
There's only one man which is in charge of the wrong that's happening in Madison,
Robin
and
Voss.
that is my opponent.
Yeah.
Here's a few of his credentials. He's been there for 18 years, 10 of which he's been the Speaker of the Assembly. He stopped listening to people long ago, and he wants to keep the Wisconsin Election Commission intact. But worst of all, he continuously obstructs the real efforts to find out what really happened in 2020.
What really happened was Trump lost. That really happened. That's a thing.
Quiet you.
There's only one road to achieving free and fair elections in Wisconsin, and that road runs through the 63rd Assembly District. There's a huge roadblock in the 63rd, and it must be removed from power. Does anybody know who that is?
No, they don't.
No,
some call him a rhino, others a treasonous traitor. I'm partial to the latter.
Treasonous traitor?
But no matter what you call him, it's time to do one thing on August 9th. It's time to toss Voss.
The Wisconsin Republican Party is in disarray.
For far too long,
truly,
we have
they
watched
are.
Republicans,
We're
like
hearing
my
it in
opponent,
real time.
give up our freedoms and the future of our children.
I told you
For
it'd be
what?
fun, Dom.
Oh my
For
God.
political power? This must stop now. Wisconsin is not interested in the socialist garbage that they are pushing on us. I believe that God has put each of us here for such a time as this. We must step up and walk by faith and not by sight.
What?
So I have two requests for you today. I need the patriots that are here, if you're willing, to come join us this weekend. We're going to be knocking doors and bringing the message that Donald Trump has been bringing to the country for the last 6 years to the 63rd Assembly. I need you to come knock doors with us. At 10 a.m. on Saturday, we'll be at
down their
Fleet
doors
Tournament.
and
And at
crap in the
11 o'clock
hallways.
on Sunday, we'll be there too.
You know they will.
I would love to see each and every one of you there to enjoy the privilege of sharing the good news that we have, that there's a replacement in the 63rd Assembly District.
Isn't it like the Good News Bible? You know, hear the biblical undertones here.
Oh, totally.
The last thing I have for you is I need all of you to go to my website. It's steenforus.com, STEENFORUS.com.
For
We have three
US.
things to give. It's time, talent, or treasure. And I need each of you to dig down deep and decide which is it going to be. I need you to step up and realize that
Gas,
it's going to take an army.
grass, or
And each
cash.
of you can be a part
Nobody
of this
rides
army.
for free.
So, as Donald Trump has said in the past, faith is more powerful than government, and nothing is more powerful than God. Thank you for your support.
Wow.
And for those of you in Racine County, make sure you get out and vote on August 9th. Thanks, and have a great day.
Everybody else stay home.
With that, so many of the people here are from like Illinois, Dom. You know,
The boys from Illinois.
They don't have a primary next Tuesday. Oh, is this Janelle Branchen? Oh,
No kiss.
There will be no smooch for Branchen.
Well, I guess technically you win that bet.
I did win the bet. Bring that money, that sweet, sweet money.
Janelle Branchen, who went to witness the Arizona Cyber Ninjas audit on the dime from Christina
so did
Bob.
Gableman. That's two
Christina
so far.
Bob funded that trip.
What a real privilege to be with such patriots today. God bless you.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait.
God bless us.
Really?
Should
One
we
and
put
all.
her on a little bit? You want to hear Janelle Branchen?
Not really, but
I
we're
need
here.
to.
Wisconsin's leading Q conspiracy theorist. She's all down for decertification.
It has been an incredible privilege to be able to serve you in the legislature and the assembly. I get to work in a 100-year-old building that
Is she
you,
one
the
of Andre
taxpayers,
Jock's
built.
sisters?
It's gorgeous. In the building, there's a mosaic. is Liberty. And she holds a square box with a crystal ball in it. Does anybody know what that crystal ball is?
You're losing me.
Get to the point.
Box.
Oh, it's a ballot box.
Can you imagine if we had a glass ballot box in the state of Wisconsin? 100 years ago, our forefathers knew the importance of a transparent ballot box.
I think it's an opportune time to go
Who's
to
all
break.
for a transparent ballot box in the state of Wisconsin?
You know, ballot boxes in the state of Wisconsin, that's the problem. Oh, she's hot stuff. She is Janelle Branchen. You know, only a Q conspiracist or the former president of the United States could love her. Come back, more Dom Crute Devil's Advocates live on the road from the Trump rally in Waukesha, Wisconsin. We'll be right back.
Should I get it?
Should I wait?
Is it safe?
It's okay to have questions about COVID-19 vaccines. Now get the facts. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when COVID-19 vaccines are available to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Devil's Advocates.
Aaron Mostovsky, who rioted at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, was dressed as Captain Caveman. QAnon shaman meets Law and Order.
Right. I mean, he pulled it off a whole lot better than Aaron Mostovsky.
Well, let me read a quote from the judge in this case. I hope you'll leave some of this fantasy world behind. Mostovsky was sentenced to 8 months in prison.
Looking at the guy, he might be one who loses his mattress on the first day. Breaking news.
Follow the Devil's Advocates on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi there, I'm Kirk Bankstad, and I own the Monaco Brewing Company, and I also have a super PAC. We make good trouble in the North Woods of Wisconsin. You can support our efforts at themonacobrewingcompany.com and buy our woke gear, like t-shirts, hoodies, and trucker hats. Enter the code RADIO and get 10% off on your next purchase. A portion of all sales support the Monaco Brewing Company Super PAC, which is dark money meant for good. That's themonacobrewingcompany.com.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Devil's Advocates, the fix for political junkies everywhere.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show live from the Trump Treason Tour 2022 in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Janelle Branchen.
Keep going, Wisconsin. God bless Wisconsin, Donald Trump, and more important,
God bless.
the Patriots that fight.
The Patriots that what? That fight?
I don't know. Patriots that fight.
Patriots that fight.
A speech that left most of this crowd wanting. Not a well-done speech, all things considered.
U.S. House of Representatives.
Who's next?
Derek Van Orden.
Derek Van Orden. We've got a Trump insurrectionist. He
was
up.
there, yes.
Oh, he sounds a little like
he's fired
Alex
up.
Jones.
Hey, what's up, guys? Look at this. That's part of our Bikers for
Wow,
Van Orden
dude.
Coalition. What's up, man? I ride a Harley Davidson Softail Slim, people.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. You and Scott
I want to
Walker.
thank President Trump for having me here today and for continuing to fight for
Did
America.
he have you at the Capitol on
It
January
is
6th?
irrefutable that this nation was better under his leadership.
Not really.
It's not a partisan statement.
Yes, it is.
It's reality.
No, it's not.
Reference all the lockdown, schools, businesses, crushing inflation we're living under, Biden's open border, and the historic crime rate. Who's this Brandon guy? He appears to be very popular. I see shirts all over for him. Get him up here.
So sorry, people. I apologize.
Hey, I'm Derek Van Orden.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
a retired Navy SEAL Senior Chief, and I'm the nominee for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District. It's Janet. We
That's
need
Ron
5
Kynes' former district.
seats to flip the House of Representatives.
He
and
looks
with
a
your
little
help,
like
you're
Michael
looking at one of
Skurkanish.
them.
If Michael
Yeah.
Skurkanish was crazy.
I want to tell you a little bit about myself.
I was at the Capitol,
So you
lied about
understand
it,
how
used my
invested I
campaign
am in
funds to go
America
to the
and how
insurrectionists.
invested
I took a loaded
I am
weapon
in
through
this
an
race.
airport in Cedar Rapids.
But
I was raised
all about
in
responsibility.
abject rural poverty by a single mother.
What if
I
she's
dropped out of
socialist?
high
I was
school when
born a
16
poor
years
black
old.
man.
I joined the Navy at 18 and got a GED. I wound up serving this
Oh.
beautiful nation
Alex
for
Jones
over 26
ordered
years.
to pay another $45.2 million. I believe that rounds up to about $50 million.
I got an undergraduate degree at 44.
You think they'll call
I
the
got
boys
accepted
back
to law
in? They're
school
here
at 50.
somewhere in the press box. The InfoWars
They already
team.
spent the money.
I did 5 combat deployments as a Navy SEAL, and guess what? I'd do 5 more if I was 25 years younger.
But
I
you're
am
not.
a tradesman. I've worked with my hands my entire life.
I scored 4
Sarah
touchdowns
Jane and
at
I have
homecoming
been
my
married for
senior
29
year.
years. We have 4 children, and we just had our 8th grandchild.
He's
And we
dirty.
own a
Readers
home.
are right.
I want you to think about that. I come from the meanest circumstances you can in the United States of America.
And you relied
Single
on the
mom,
social
broken
safety net to
home,
get you through,
high
not
school
only through your
dropout.
hard living with your single
Next
mother,
year,
but also
with
joining
your
the
help,
armed
I
forces, which of
will
course is
be
funded
in
by
Congress.
taxpayers.
Yes.
I wants to go
What do
back
they
to
call
Congress.
that?
Even if I Republican,
Oh.
I'd find this guy a little scary.
The American dream. Say it as loud as you want.
Like,
It's
who
beautiful.
says, that's my guy? Who's hearing this guy
Telling
right
you,
now going,
I have lived in
that's
villages
my
in
guy.
Afghanistan and Iraq.
Insurrectionist Derek Van
I've
Orden,
lived in
Wisconsin's
cosmopolitan
third. My
cities
guy.
in Europe, and I'm here standing before you to testify.
Testify,
It is not
brother.
the English dream. It's not the Irish dream, the Argentinian dream. It's sure as heck not the Canadian dream right now. It's the American dream.
Well, what you got against Canada,
because
man?
this is the only country in the world where my story can be told again and
That's the
again.
scary part.
No,
and
that's
again.
so not true. The story can be told
Exhibit
in lots
B,
of places.
Winsome Sears in Virginia.
Well, other places
But all
he
of
might
this
be,
is under attack.
institutionalized.
And that's
for the
why
good
I'm
of
standing
himself
here
and
in front of
society.
you. Unlike any other time in my lifetime, the Biden administration, what they have done over the last 2 years is absolutely remarkable.
All right, 500-some thousand
And
jobs.
not in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Jane and I have put over 90,000 miles on our vehicles during this run, and I hear the same 3 things from everybody. Gas,
That's
groceries,
just what
grandkids.
you're claiming on mileage.
With this inflation, the highest in 40 years, people can't afford to fill up their gas tank and a grocery cart on the same day in the United States of America, and that's
I
unacceptable.
saw gas came down like
And we are
50
afraid
days in a row.
For our
Under
children.
350 gallon
We're
on University
concerned
Ave,
about their
Madison.
future, are we not? Well, guess what?
I am if
We
you
are
are
the
elected.
party of public safety.
Yeah, didn't you
15
just
of the
storm
19
the Capitol,
sheriffs in my
dude?
district have endorsed me. The Fraternal Order of Police for the state of Wisconsin, the Police Association from Milwaukee, they all have endorsed me. And they told me these things, that they too are worried. They're worried because we have a fentanyl problem in
How
the
about the
United
Proud
States of
Boys,
America,
the
and a
Oath Keepers,
methamphetamine
the
problem
3%ers?
in the
They've all
United States
endorsed
of
you as
America.
well? Question mark?
100,000 American citizens have died from fentanyl overdoses on Joe Biden's watch. It's the leading cause of death for Americans aged 18 to 45.
How many died under Trump's
And it
watch?
just wasn't like that under President Trump.
You sure?
It was not. I went down to the U.S.-Mexico border, and guess what? It's
What?
open. We have an open border now.
No, that's a Taco
Finish the
Bell.
wall is a very good idea. And you know what? Brandon's working on the wall right now, isn't he? There's a surprise.
So is he
So let
building
me
the
tell
wall?
you what.
And I saw that, Mexico's actually funding.
This fentanyl comes
It's
from
a new
China.
deal with Mexico
It comes
that
from Mexico.
President Biden engaged
Smuggled
in.
across the southern
thought that
border.
was Taco
Why
Bell.
does Biden not want to close the border? Why do they continue to lie that it is closed? In La Crosse, Wisconsin, we interdicted 3 pounds of fentanyl. That's enough to kill 680,000 Americans. In La Crosse, Wisconsin, what do you think is taking place around the rest of the country? We have the highest murder rate, since the FBI started recording it. They're doing nothing about it.
What?
They're
That's not true.
prosecuting people.
That's just
Catch and
factually
release
untrue.
for illegal
Well,
immigrants
what
and
makes you
criminals
think
is
facts have
killing
anything
American
to do with
citizens every
mega elections,
single day.
man?
Afghanistan. So 1 year anniversary coming up from Afghanistan, where the reckless and feckless decision making by the Biden
Didn't we just,
administration cost 13
President Joe
heroes their
Biden
lives
dropped
and
a
abandoned
dime on
intentionally thousands of American
the
citizens
leader of Al-Qaeda
behind enemy lines.
That was in Afghanistan, right?
They gave them billions
Dominic,
of dollars of
you know,
sophisticated
things
military
are
equipment.
getting better out there in the
And let me
economy and
remind
elsewhere.
you, Yeah.
When you hear
no
insurrectionists like Darren Van
No
Orden
one
bringing
has
up
been held accountable for any
Afghanistan,
of this.
Right, dude.
you know what?
I
How
had
many
2
people have died in
combat tours in
Afghanistan
Afghanistan.
lately?
How many
About
Americans have
50 of
died
my
in
friends.
Afghanistan? I haven't heard any.
Killed since September 11th.
I know there's that
But apparently,
tragic
you know, eternal
withdrawal.
wars are what
It's
the
not a
Republicans
metric
want?
I'm
Question
particularly
mark?
proud of.
Well,
I
he
held one of
said
my
he'd
friend's
serve
hands as
5
he
more
died.
tours if
And
you'd let him.
Bagram,
I'd let him. Knock yourself
listening
out.
to his wife.
That is
cry
literally
out to God
insurrectionist
over a
Derek
satellite
Van Orden. He used campaign funds to go out to the January 6th. You know, just thought it'd be a fun thing to do, show his patriotism. You know, if you'd let him, he'd go start another war zone. You know, he's younger and smarter, and anyone would have him. Come back with us. We're at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds in the
It's folks, it is as bad as it sounds. The GOP is entirely in disarray.
Oh, I thought you meant tan lines. You're worried about tan lines. There will be no tan lines. We're getting naked next. More Devils live at the Donald Trump rally.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning, business or residence, please give us a call. We have the best system available and an amazing team of friendly technicians. Call us at 848-9000 or schedule online at zeroresmadison.com.
Hi, everyone. Listen to the Matt McNeil Show weekday afternoons at 3 p.m. on Devil Radio 92.7 and WTTN 1580 AM. 1 hour every weekday where we'll talk about all sorts of things like politics, especially with what's going on right now, plus other things too. Parenting, the arts, religion, music, beer. If it matters to Wisconsin and Minnesota, we'll talk about it. Phone calls are welcome at 952-946-6205. For 1 hour each day, come see the trained chimp, the Matt McNeil Show. 3 p.m. weekday afternoons right here on Devil Radio 92.7 and WTTN 1580 AM.
Listen to the Empowered Caregiver Show each Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with hosts Liza Hellenbrand and Kristen Voss.
Right here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
You are listening to WTTN 1580 AM Columbus, W224 EG Madison, always streaming on the Devil Radio app.
AP News, I'm Tim McGuire. 3 generations of one family are killed in a house fire in northeastern Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania State Police say 10 people, 7 adults and 3 children, have been confirmed dead after an early morning house fire in Nescopec, Pennsylvania. Harold Baker, a Nescopec volunteer firefighter who responded to the scene, told the Citizens Voice newspaper of Wilkes-Barre that the victims expected to eventually be found were members of his family, including his son, daughter, father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, 3 grandchildren, and 2 other relatives. The fire was reported around 2:30 a.m. One person was found dead inside the house shortly after emergency responders arrived, and 2 other victims were found later in the morning. Authorities say a criminal investigation is underway. I'm Mike Gracia.
Senate Democrats trimmed part of their proposed minimum tax on big companies and made other changes to an economic bill that will be acted on this weekend. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
The Democratic-led Senate is delivering historic climate change legislation. We're delivering lower prices on prescription drugs. We're delivering lower energy costs, including your electric bill going down. And we're delivering on deficit reduction, as well as tax fairness. This is a very, very, very big deal.
The measure is sure to face unanimous Republican opposition in the 50-50 Senate, where the backing of all Democrats will be needed for passage, along with Vice President Kamala Harris' tie-breaking vote. If it passes, the House is expected to act next Friday. A 33-year-old man driving drunk without a valid license drove a Chevy Tahoe through a parade celebrating Native American culture in Gallup, New Mexico last night. 15 people, including 2 police officers, were injured, most of the injuries minor. Jeff Irving's blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit. His license had been revoked or suspended. This is AP News. A stunning...
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hear history as it happens, only on Devil Radio 92.7 FM.
Listen to your favorite political talkers no matter where you are. 92.7 FM in Madison and Eastern Dane County, 1580 AM Columbus, north of Madison, and for daytime east-west commutes on I-94, 101 FM in the Shaw, and 540 AM covering eastern Wisconsin all day and covering the Milwaukee Metro, the Waukesha Counties, Racine, and Kenosha 24/7. Download the free Devil Radio app for your smartphone and take both stations with you everywhere. No excuses, just listen.
Brian, what the heck are you doing?
I'm making a patio.
When I told you it was patio season, I didn't mean we had to make one of our own.
But I got all this grout all over me now.
Yeah, but I meant we need to go see Hawk at the all-new Jade Monkey on Cottage Grove Road. They've got an awesome patio, and it's the perfect place to stop for a cocktail after the show.
Jade Monkey has a patio? Why don't we go there?
Exactly. Now put down those power tools and let's go grab a drink.
That's all right. I was done anyway. Suck down drinks so we don't have to suck. Okay. Hey, Darcy, I just saw the perfect house. Can you help me write an offer on it?
I'd be happy to, Brian. Did you see it at an open house?
No, I just called the sign and had the agent show it to me. I didn't want to bug you.
Right. How many times have you heard me say don't call the sign?
All of them.
You called the agent working for the seller, and once you see the property with that agent, I'm no longer free to write an offer on it.
So...
You need to hire us from the beginning, help you find the right home, negotiate on your behalf, and protect your interests all the way through the process, and it shouldn't cost you a dime.
Solidarity Realty. They're real, they're solid, and they're honest. Find them at solidarityrealty.com.
Oh, Devil Radio. Good thing I brought my horns.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair with your headlines. GOP businessman Tim Michaels holding a rally tonight at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds just days before the August 9th partisan primary. Former President Trump will appear. He endorsed Michaels earlier this summer. Former VP Mike Pence is supporting former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish in her bid to take on Democratic Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers in fall. State Rep Tim Ramthun also remains in the race. A Janesville couple is dead after they were hit by lightning across the street from the White House Thursday night. James and Donna Miller were both in their mid-70s. 2 others are hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. It's Packers family night tonight in Green Bay, and the inventor of the Lambeau Leap, Leroy Butler, being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tomorrow night in Canton, Ohio. Sunny today with a high of 86, clear tonight, low of 70. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN 1580 AM.
Devil Radio programming is produced live in the Solidarity Realty studios. Find them at solidarityrealty.com. Solidarity Realty. There is an alternative.
Warning, you are about to listen to the greatest radio show ever. And due to contractual obligations and to shield our airwaves and corporate licensees from any semblance of liability, responsibility, and gullibility, we must tell you the views represented on this show are not necessarily those of this station or its management. This radio show contains differing points of view on current political topics, and due to the nature of its contents, it should be heard by everyone. Thank you for listening. 3, 2, 1. Now live from the Devil Radio studios in Madison, Wisconsin, where the political party is just beginning. Welcome to the Devil's Advocate Show. Friends proving it's never personal, only politics.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Here is your host, Mike Crute.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show, the Friday edition, live from the Waukesha, easy for me to say, County Fairgrounds. Dominic, we're here for a Donald Trump rally, and the Trump-endorsed Tim Michels, gubernatorial candidate. A fired-up Tim Michels on the stage. Well, listen in.
I mean, we're here, may as well.
He's all fired up.
So I went to college up in Green Bay, St. Norbert College, and I got into ROTC. When I graduated, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the infantry in the United States Army. And like I do everything in life, I went all in. I went to airborne school, paratrooper school, ranger school, air assault school, jungle warfare school, low intensity conflict school. And after 12 years, I got out at the rank of major. A lot of hard days and a lot of hard nights over those 12 years. And all you veterans out there know what I'm talking about. How many veterans out there? Stand up, all you veterans. Thank you for your
Who already stood up for Adam Steen? Sorry, I'm going to sit, sir. But I appreciate the acknowledgement.
Rangers lead the way.
Hoo-wah.
God has blessed America. Look at all those people that stood up. A lot of hard days and a lot of hard nights like I had in my 12 years. But I'll tell you, the greatest honor I had in my 12 years of service
being endorsed
was
by
being
Trump?
the commanding officer of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery.
Kissing Trump's ring? Going to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ass?
So I got out of the Army, brought my new bride, Barbara, back. We moved to Oconomowoc, about 20 minutes west of here. Rejoined the family business, the one where I started filling those pea gravel bags. Unfortunately, a year later, my dad passed away, founder of the company. Dad started that company in 1960. He was the boss, he was the foreman, he had 4 employees, and my mom drove the dump truck. I'm telling you, she could work a mean stick shift.
So I've heard.
Dad passed away, we had a few hundred employees. Today at Michels Corporation, we employ over 8,000 people.
Lots of government contracts. Yo, socialism.
Great family supporting jobs. The average pay, the average wage for a laborer at Michels Corporation is $97,000 a year.
Should get us a job there at Michels
With great health care and great benefits. We know that if you take care of people, great things will happen. And that's what I'm going to do as governor of Wisconsin. I'm going to take care of the people of this state.
It's going to take care of us. We'll take care of you, Crudy. Leave the gun, take the cannolis.
So you say, Tim, what do you do with these 8,000 employees? We build energy infrastructure. We keep the lights on. We put power lines up and big pipelines, like the Keystone Pipeline. In
Jeff
fact,
comments.
on Inauguration Day,
Love women who know
Joe
how to
Biden
drive
gets
a
sworn
stick.
in. What's the first thing he does? He sounds an executive order canceling the Keystone Pipeline. That night,
he decided he was going to run for governor because he was getting paid on that Keystone.
That night, Joe Biden is dancing at his inaugural ball. We had to lay off 700 hard-working men and women.
Had to?
What did you think was going to happen?
Chose to?
Well, you know, bottom
He didn't
lines are
think.
important, Dom.
$4, $5 gas, $6, $7 diesel, driving up the cost of everything. Inflation was so predictable, but he didn't care because all he wanted to do was please his environmental zealot supporters.
God, it's
Didn't
hot here
care about
today.
the people that were going to go to the pump. Doesn't care about you. We need to have proven executive leadership in government, and that's what I'm going to do here in Wisconsin.
Why is he yelling at us?
Because he really means it.
So President Trump,
Ex-President
President Trump,
soon to be indicted President
he and I
Trump.
met down at Mar-a-Lago. It was supposed to be a 20-minute meeting. It lasted an hour and 15 minutes.
He ranted
We
about
talked about the
Rebecca
governor's
Joel's
race.
kid going to prom.
We talked
here
about
now.
politics. We spent a lot of time talking about building things. I am here to tell you how sharp that man's mind is. He asked me questions like, Tim, why do sometimes you build two 30-inch pipelines next to each other, and why not just build one 42-inch pipeline instead? Do you remember pi back in school, 3.14? It's what you use to determine the volume of product.
Tim, we don't do math on the radio.
Cylinder. President Trump was doing this in his head. By the way, the answer is one 42-inch pipeline carries about the same amount of product as two 30-inch, but he knew that in his head. He asked me questions like,
So
how do
does
you
your
build
mom.
a subway
So
tunnel
why is he asking the
80
question
feet under
if
the
he knows
streets of
the answer?
Manhattan in New York?
See,
How does a
if
tunnel
he knew
boring
the
machine
answer
work?
of the question.
I'll tell you what, we hit it off
I had a
fabulously.
boss like
He's
that.
a builder, I'm a builder. He's an outsider, I'm an outsider.
He's
a
BSer,
businessman,
traitor's
I'm
bastard.
a businessman.
I'm a
and that's why he
BSer.
said, Tim, I'm going to endorse you.
I thought that was all about the Clayfish kid going to prom with Hagedorn's kid. A lot of thumbs up from Tim Michaels.
One quick little story. I'm going to share a little insight.
Oh,
So
please
my
do.
daughter Sophie, I said she's always with me on the campaign trail, right?
And she
has
never
my phone
gone
all the
to
time. They don't let
prom
me
with
tweet.
any of Hagedorn's kids.
Sophie, I gave a speech to a group of business leaders in downtown Milwaukee. They're very concerned about the direction of Milwaukee. Crime is running rampant. Education is atrocious.
You think it's bad now?
And they
Wait
said,
till the
"Tim,
RNC
we think
gets
that
here."
You're going to be the man that could get Milwaukee headed in the right direction. But anyhow, I walk over by Sophie, and she has my phone. President Trump doesn't know I have his caller ID, so don't tell him, all right? Sophie holds up my phone. She goes, Dad, it's President Trump. So I answer, hello, it's Tim. Tim, this is Donald Trump. I'm going to
That's not what
endorse
he
you
sounds
because
like.
you're a
I can
winner
do
and
it.
I'm a winner and I want to win and you're a businessman. That's my President Trump imitation, so.
That was pretty bad. Worse
Yeah,
than
not
mine.
great. Not great.
He's not mocking enough.
You're a winner. I'm a winner.
It
We're all
was a
going to
great
win.
moment, but it hasn't changed a single thing that we've been doing. We've been mission focused from day one, and that's why we've been surging. The endorsement of President Trump, we just kept moving forward. It's been a great, tremendous boost to our campaign, a great endorsement of the enthusiasm that we have, but we're mission focused. And then Governor Tommy Thompson endorses me after that. Great endorsement from a great unifier, 4 times elected governor of Wisconsin. We didn't change a single thing that we're doing there either. Proud to have the endorsement of Governor Thompson as well. But despite everything, what the polls say, and they're really good, by the way, it's the anecdotal evidence
Sounds a
that I
little
get
like Trump,
everywhere
doesn't
I
it?
go.
Oh, I
People are
get the
coming up
best
to me and they're saying,
polls.
Tim, thank you for running. I've been waiting for someone that's not a career politician. I've been waiting for a businessman, an outsider,
Didn't he
a
run?
veteran. That's what we need
Against
more in
Michael?
government. That's
Yeah,
the way our
45%
founding fathers
Timmy.
intended it
So
to
he
be.
ran
If you
18 years
will,
ago
back in the day,
and got
butcher, baker,
45%.
candlestick maker. Take
he never
your
really
real
went
life
away, right?
experience,
He stayed
go to
on
the
the
legislature,
peripherals and-
serve
He went
for
to
a couple terms,
Connecticut.
and then go back and let somebody else do it.
Tim Michaels, gubernatorial candidate.
So what am I going to do when I'm governor? The
And,
very first
microphone
thing, my
screamer.
number one priority is election integrity.
Of course.
You and Phil out in the parking lot.
I'm going to get rid of the Wisconsin Elections Commission. It should have been done a long time ago by my predecessor.
And what are you going to do then?
Well, he's going to do
I'll tell you what,
congressional districts.
when I took
to
that
stack
oath
the
of
deck
office,
against
I swear to
Democrats.
uphold and defend
Excellent.
the
Great
Constitution.
idea.
That was not a 12-year commitment or a 4-year commitment or a 6-year commitment. As you veterans know, that's a lifelong commitment. I'm going to get election integrity back here in Wisconsin. We are going to stop the Zuckerbucks, out-of-state billionaires coming into the state and taking control of our election process.
Wait,
Won't happen
aren't you an
anymore.
out-of-state millionaire?
Nearly a billionaire. He's got 8,000 employees. That's quite a few. They pay each one on what, 92
I'm going to
grand
stop the
employees?
ballot harvesting. I'm going to make sure
Is there ballot
that
harvesting?
this
What do you
indefinitely
mean by that?
confined status stops.
I don't
Just
know.
because you may have had
I heard
COVID 2
Trump
years
say
ago doesn't mean that you should get a ballot. In some cases, I've heard multiple ballots mailed to you for the rest of your life.
Multiple
I've
ballots.
United
heard-
States of America.
I've heard
You
that
need
on
to show an
Dickie's
ID
show.
to get on an airplane. You need to show an ID to buy liquor. Your ballot is sacred, and you can show an ID to get your ballot once again.
So how should my mother vote if she's unable to leave the facility she's
Just
in.
disenfranchise
Oh,
her.
okay, just to hell with
I
it, huh?
take that oath right now before you again. I swear to uphold and defend the Constitution. If we don't have fair and transparent elections, our entire constitutional system comes crumbling down. This is the United States of America.
This is an indictment of the United States of America.
It's not some
I'm not going to
banana
stand
republic.
here.
We should not even be having this conversation
very
21
Animal
months
House.
after the election. Was it rigged? Was it fixed?
Right,
I'm
we
going to
shouldn't.
stop it.
Really? What are you
Was
going
it
to do?
rigged? Was it fixed?
You going to stuff a sock in Trump's mouth, dude? Because that's where it's coming from.
People
and
wanna
you,
know.
and Janelle Brandon and all the other maggots out there. So if we win, we'll stop complaining about the election integrity. But if we lose, well, then it's rigged.
There's chanting USA down. You're being unpatriotic.
Am I?
America.
My number 2 priority is to reduce crime. Crime is at a 30-year high in Wisconsin. Murder, assault, violent crime at a 30-year high. And most of it happened in the last 2 years. Why? I believe it's a byproduct of the defund the police movement.
Thank God.
How did we get to this point in America where less police is better? Where police are bad?
Well, I think you've had enough of Tim Michaels for a while. He's quite fired up. He's yelling into that microphone, Dom. I do that occasionally. I get fired up on a Friday. It's nearly the weekend, man. So we'll come back. We're doing a live special event, Donald Trump rally, Waukesha County Fairgrounds, I guess we're at. We'll come back. Maybe we'll take your calls. Maybe. Unless, of course, your name's CJ. 844-967-2789. We'll take you up to the live Trump speech right here on the Shaw, 540 AM, 101 FM, Devil Radio Net. Bull Falls Radio, 1230 AM, live at Trump in Waukesha County.
I want to get back to being in my community group.
I want to continue having a soccer season.
So I can throw parties again.
So I can go to her parties.
It'd really be nice to dine in instead of getting delivery for a change.
So I can feel safe and protected for myself and my students.
We each have our own reason for why we're getting vaccinated against COVID-19. What will yours be? Visit getvaccineanswers.org for information on the COVID-19 vaccines. It's up to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
President Trump lost the election. Joe Biden won the election.
Collectively, Republicans got 1.661 million votes, 51,000 more votes than Trump got.
He exhausted his cases. He exhausted the court challenges.
All the Republicans voted for Trump the way they voted for the assembly candidates. He would have won.
It was not rigged. It was not stolen. Donald Trump lost the election. Joe Biden won the election. It's really clear.
This message was paid for by the People for People Corporation. Donate online at p4ppc.org.
The Devil's Advocates.
Today, I made a mental note. It was 1:09 Central Time when I found out Ron Johnson was a conspirator in a coup, a traitor to the Constitution, and Ron's been something of an apologist. You know, they seem real friendly. Well, maybe to you, Ron, because you were on the inside of the coup, and I've never made that accusation prior to today. So let's play it for the people.
This staffer stated that Senator Johnson wished to hand-deliver the fake electors' votes from Michigan and Wisconsin.
Follow the Devil's Advocates on Facebook and Twitter.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Kicking ass and taking names since the Wisconsin Uprising. The Devil's Advocates.
You're willing to sacrifice our love.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show live from the Trump Treason Tour 2022. The endorsed Tim Michels speaking right now. His priorities, folks, election integrity, crime, and election reform, meaning universal school choice, as he puts it. Let's hear more of Trump's MAGA pick in Wisconsin.
Do we have to?
We have to.
And if they don't like the way their kids are being taught, they can go somewhere else.
Universal
They don't like how it's being taught, they can go somewhere else. We will stop the CRT and we will get back to the ABCs.
Stop the CRT, get back to the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s.
You know me.
Not really. You've lived in Connecticut most of your life.
Those are my big three priorities, but there's so much to do.
The third one's
economy,
thick, right? That's what he said.
Jobs. It's going to be my big priority from the first day I'm sworn in until the last day I leave the governor's office. And I know how to do that as a businessman. I know how to create jobs. I'm not just some politician standing up here talking about it. I've done it, helping grow Michels Corporation from a few hundred to 8,000. And we had thousands of people working by our side that made that possible. We treat those people well. And we did it despite the government bureaucracy, despite the excessive taxation, and despite that liberal attitude. As Barack Obama said, you didn't build that. We did build that with all those hardworking people at our side. And that is the American dream.
And
the American dream that my mother and father had.
Who paid
the
for
American
that?
dream that I have with my brothers and my family. And I want to make sure that future generations have the same opportunity for the American dream.
He's done soon.
Life is but a dream. Da, 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 da.
Thank you for coming out this afternoon. This is very powerful.
Oh,
very powerful
very
what
powerful.
happened.
Very Trumpy.
Great gathering of people. I stand before you. I'm a candidate
I would say a crowd of
that's
no more
taking
than
no money
2,500.
from PACs or lobbyists or special interests. It's too much of that special interest money in government. I've been very blessed that I've been able to do that. But my opponent, her husband's a lobbyist as well. We need to get those people out of government. We need to bring some purity back into government.
Purity
we need
test.
to have that proven executive experience. People that have, like me, that have made plans, executed those plans, and solved problems. People find that so refreshing. Everywhere I go, I have guys coming up to me and they say, Tim, I work in the union, but you know what? The Democratic Party has left me. All they care about now is LGBTQ and drag queen shows for third graders. I just want to go to my job.
Boo. Boo. The hell with those people and their rights.
Screw those third graders.
I just want to go to work, raise my family, go to my kids' ball game, maybe go to church on Sunday.
Maybe not.
You, Tim, you represent the working man. I know that you wore boots your whole life. 12 years I wore Army boots. 25 years I wore steel-toe boots. That is refreshing, and that's what people want. We gather together because today is the beginning of a different era. We're going to take back America.
Take it back.
Together, we're going to beat Tony Evers. Together, we're going to get Wisconsin headed in the right direction and make it the greatest state that it can be. I ask for your vote on August 9th. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you so much.
And nowhere else. Well, that was Tim Michels, folks. He's all fired up. Not much of a public speaker, but, you know, he projects well. He's loud. He's got that going for him, Dom, which is nice. Folks, you are listening to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show live from the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. The reason, the rationale, Donald Trump's coming to town. It's a Save America rally, Dom. And we're here right behind the risers.
It's 25 after 5, right? We've had all the people speak. Trump's not supposed to be now up till
90 minutes. Just fake 90 minutes, everyone.
Love that. So I walked in. One of the nice volunteer ladies, grabbed me and saw my press credential. Maybe she just thought I was somebody different. She's like, "Oh my goodness, can you get some water? I've been sitting here all day long in the sun, and no one's got us any water." I said, "No, I can't help you. I don't work here." But maybe talk to the guy. So hopefully the volunteers are getting water. One of the many Trump rallies we went to, Crute, Trump sold water. They unplugged the vending machines and they sold Trump labeled water for like $4.
They uncovered or they covered the water fountains, the bubblers, if you will, for our Wisconsin listeners. And they actually sold at one Trump rally styrofoam cups full of water.
I mean,
$3-4, if I recall.
Well, if you can't make any money, it's not even worth doing it, right?
I feel like the Trump water was free. Like they were giving out his water. I kept my Trump water bottle. It's a keepsake.
Or something someday.
You know, we're going to take a break here in just a moment. We'll come back and live cover the Trump rally in Waukesha, Wisconsin. And they are driving a stake in the heart of the Republican Party, man. Maybe time for a quick caller, maybe Gary from Sussex. Gary, are you out at the Trump rally, my friend? You got to come by and say hi to the Devil's Advocates.
Hey, Gary.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello, Gary.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Good, man. You're on the air.
Hey, yeah. Hey, great.
Yes, sir.
Gary, you at the Trump rally somewhere?
No, I'm working, but I wish I was, but I was sitting there listening to you guys cover it. You guys are really progressive. You guys are coming along. I never thought you'd go to a Trump-Michaels rally. You guys are all right. You guys are great.
You know what, Gary? I'm with you, man. That's a terrible idea.
Hey, would you...
Are we the only one covering the event today, Gary? I don't see any other live radio broadcasters.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm sorry, we lost you, Gary. I don't know what happened, Gary.
Oh, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep,
yeah,
go ahead.
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but would you vote for Michaels after listening, or would you vote for Clayfish?
Well, I wouldn't vote for either, but if I had, you put it under my head, Gary, and who are you going to vote for in the Republican primary?
You must endorse the Republican. You must vote for Republican Crute. Who would it be?
I'd follow your example and vote for Tim Ramsey, man, because I am all down for the chaos, the disarray, and the Republican Party. No, if all honesty, how could you vote for Michaels? It'd have to be Clayfish. More Devils.
Make sure you listen to Devil Radio 92.7. If you do, you go to heaven.
Dark Horse Art Bar is Madison's newest live music venue and art gallery on East Washington Avenue. Check out these upcoming events at the Dark Horse. Little Church is a splattering of art, pop, rock, soul, and gentle Eskimo kisses by a bear-shaped robot that can't control its voltage. Little Church with Mickey Sunshine, Sunday, July 24th. Dark Horse Art Bar and Gallery, 756 East Washington Avenue. Find them online at darkhorsemadison.com.
Devil Radio has been kicking ass, earning every listener, and providing our sponsors return on investment 3 years now on the Madison airwaves. And there has never been a better time than right now to advertise with us and join the Devil Radio community. Our audience is loyal and growing every day. Active listeners that don't flip. Wonder if your ad dollars are working? Devil Radio listeners will tell you it works. Ad production is included. Devil Radio will make it easy for you to start seeing return on your investment. Call today.
Tragic house fire. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. 7 adults and 3 children are dead in an early morning house fire in northeastern Pennsylvania. A volunteer firefighter on the first fire engine to arrive says the victims are his family. Harold Baker tells WNEP-TV that his 2 children were visiting the home owned by a relative. A jury in Austin, Texas orders InfoWars host and conspiracy spreader Alex Jones to pay an additional $45.2 million in punitive damages to the parents of one of the 20 children killed in the Sandy Hook school massacre. 528,000 jobs added last month. Economists were expecting less than half that. President Biden says that's great, but many people may not be feeling all the positive effects from it.
I know it's hard to feel good about job creation when you already have a job and you're dealing with rising prices, food and gas, and so much more.
Unemployment fell to 3.5%. I'm Tim McGuire.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
From Up North News, I'm Pat Kreitlow. Senator Tammy Baldwin says the Inflation Reduction Act, set to pass Congress this weekend, will take the boldest action on climate change in the nation's history. It'll make it easier to buy cars that don't burn fossil fuels and make houses more energy efficient. Quite a week between that bill, the one helping veterans exposed to burn pits, an Al-Qaeda leader killed, gas prices at a 50-day low, and a new jobs report showing unemployment at a 50-year low. I guess it's a case of Dems in array. Anyhow, on our radio show, we visited with Susan Lampert-Smith, who writes features for us that take us on road trips around Wisconsin. You can get some great weekend ideas from her. Just catch us as a podcast if you can't listen live on Apple or Spotify, and listen live by going to the Facebook page of our Wausau station, Bull Falls Radio. More in our newsletter. Sign up for it at upnorthnewswi.com.
The Devil's Advocates. So relevant, they have one foot in tomorrow.
Welcome back to the Devil's Advocates Radio Show, live on the road again. Waukesha County Fairgrounds, Donald Trump, the occasion. Dom, more and more people moving in here, but this is still, by comparison to the last Trump rally I went to, Des Moines, Iowa, Saturday night back in October, I would have estimated the crowd that night between 25 and 45,000, probably on the high side.
25 and 45 is a big range, man.
Well, the Des Moines Register said the crowd was 25,000. I would have guessed 40,000 or more. It was a ginormous crowd on a Saturday night, and they were playing football that very same night down the road. Iowa State was playing Iowa in Iowa City, and Trump still had a ginormous crowd on a Saturday night in Iowa. Now, by comparison, here at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds, Tom, this crowd, maybe 3,000? I mean, big crowd, not a bad crowd, you know, if you're having a picnic or something, but this is not a Trumpy crowd. This is going to be hard to call the largest crowd ever. Trump loves doing that. This is not a ginormous crowd.
Well, I mean, if you want to be accurate, perhaps it'd be hard to do that. But when would accuracy and truthfulness have anything to do with the MAGA crowd? He'll come out and say what he always says, oh, greatest crowd ever, biggest crowd ever, whatever. That's just how they are, Crute. But we do have some callers on the line. We're out here at the Trump Treason Tour 2022 taking your calls. Our pal Profane Ronnie. Hey, happy birthday, Ronnie. Welcome to the show. What do you got for us?
Keep her clean, sister.
Thanks, guys. So I missed the first hour of the show because I was at the fair, and then I got in the car at 5, and you had to subject me to Michael's, and I was like vomiting in the car. Oh, my God. He's horrible. He's horrible. Oh, my God. So now I'm at Pick and Save in the wine department trying to be in a corner so people can't hear me complain. But, oh, my God, he's horrible. And the reason why there's only 3,000 people there is because people like me signed up for tickets and said we were going, and we're not.
You know who Tim Michaels reminds me of is the Steve Carell character in Anchorman, Brick. Just loud noises. He's a loud talker, Profane Ronnie.
Yeah. You're lucky I'm in Pick and Save, so I'm not a profane Ronnie.
We are lucky you're in Pick and Save. Go get some groceries. Thanks for listening, Ronnie. Take us with anywhere on the Devil Radio app. You can hear us on TuneIn. And, of course, we're playing out in Waukesha. You should be listening to the Shaw today, because it's the local station.
Before we get to the callers, and you can join us at 844-967-2789. Out on the road, Crudy's dragging me all around again. But ultimately, the big three that Michaels, who is the Trump-endorsed gubernatorial GOP candidate here in Wisconsin, he talked about election integrity, crime, and education reform. And on those issues, honestly, I don't think he's any different than perhaps Rebecca Clayfish would claim to be on those very same issues. The difference is he's the Trumpster. He's the more Trumpy.
He says it louder.
He's the more Trumpy of the candidates, which is really hard because, Ram Jam is very Trumpy, but this guy's, Ram Jam with some money.
Well, Kim from Waukesha, way back in hour one, we played a little sound, a little man on the street stuff. Evan, if you're still paying attention, man, let's do a little bit more of the man on the street stuff. I'd like to go to Phil from West Bend. No, I think we got enough of Phil. We interrupted him, but that's okay. We'll move beyond Phil. But, Evan, if you recall, there's a young Trumpster. The kid was wearing the entire Trump garb. He had the bronzer on. I met him in the parking lot. Well, Tom, cosplay. I've seen it in porn, but I didn't realize it was going to be so popular here at the Trump rally. I saw a guy wearing, 1776 Patriot style. I've seen lots of goofballs out here, just in the American flag and the Trump shirt.
Right.
But this guy was full Donald Trump. Young guy, Evan played for the people. Young Donald Trump wannabe. I think his name was Alec.
So, if you don't mind, what's your real name?
Alec Drexler.
And Alec, you're dressed up as who today and why?
Donald Trump, and I'm dressed as him because to show my support.
And where are we at today?
We are in Waukesha, Wisconsin. A nice place.
And are you from here? Are you from nearby?
I'm from Illinois. A very Island Lake, a very similar kind of small town. Very nice. Yep.
And what would motivate you to dress full Donald Trump at a Donald Trump rally?
People seem to like it when I do it. They encourage me to do it.
And when you say people, you mean the young ladies? Who are you trying to meet today?
Young ladies, friends of mine. They really like it. They think it's funny. They think it's a good way to show support.
Yeah. You're a little slimmer. I'm probably closer to Trump size than you are, man.
Well, I walked all the way from Illinois to here, so I lost all that weight coming over.
Hey, man, have a good.
So at least he had a clever response at the end.
Well, another boy from Illinois, man.
Hoping to get laid at a Trump rally by dressing like the Don.
It's interesting. Of the people you've talked to, Crudy, I haven't heard anyone talk about any sort of specific policy issue, right? Did you get in the weeds on anything?
Well, I did talk commerce with one guy. Evan, going to need your help. This guy was a vendor, and he was selling some T-shirts and hats. He bragged about having the best Trump hat display inventory of all. And then I asked him, how does this work? Because, I've always wondered, all these merchants following the Trump show around.
Well, yeah, man. It's snake oil. When a grifter's going to grift, they all kind of come together.
Well, here's the guy telling me, here's the specific policy. Talking about kitchen table?
Yes.
Well, here's why this guy's a vendor, a merchant at the Trump shows. Evan played for the people. This guy used to be a deadhead.
I think I'm going to just go out and crank out some Trump hats, or do you have to get licensing, or how does that work?
No. I'll tell you exactly how all this happened. I follow the Grateful Dead and the band Fish around, and I sell merchandise in their parking lots, and they let you set up just like this.
Loose joints.
Well, when COVID hit, all the concerts
I like it better if he sold loose joints.
A friend of mine was doing security for the Trump rallies when he was running for election, and he's like, dude, they
didn't cancel Trump during COVID.
And they sell all this stuff, and I was like, whatever, dude, and I went to my first one, and I pull in here, it's almost like set up like at the concerts I go to.
Yeah.
So I am a Trump supporter. I do sell stuff to try to make money.
Yeah.
So whenever he does his rallies now, I show up and sell some merchandise,
And where's home for you, if I may ask?
Ohio.
So, do you drive up then?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And have you been following Trump's rallies?
I've done every one this year except for the one up in Alaska a couple weeks ago, and I didn't do Arizona because I had prior commitments. So.
Gotcha.
Alaska would be a hell of a drive to do some merchandising at a Trump rally.
How do you go from being a deadhead and following fish to being a Trump supporter? Now I get, following around the circus to sell your wares. I mean, that's
commerce.
Yeah, that's commerce, man. I mean, I don't blame people for doing that. I imagine there's probably some people selling merch that are not Trump supporters, but I'm wondering why. Why? What is it? What is it about Donald Trump that has everybody so fired up? I mean, even if you just set aside the insurrection and the seditious conspiracy and all of that, and set aside the way he sold us out to Russia and embarrassed us in Helsinki, and you can set aside lots and lots of things, but what is it? I mean, when Trump was here, we crashed the economy because he denied COVID, at least publicly. And
that's Wuhan's fault. That's China's fault.
Well, whatever. When things happen, the buck stops with you. And buck stops with Donald Trump.
I take no responsibility whatsoever.
The only thing he's actually done were the tax cuts. I mean, what was the stock market at when Trump got booted out of office? Right? What was our GDP at when Trump got booted out of office? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what exactly can any of these Trump supporters articulate specifically? Oh, we're gonna stop CRT. Well, okay, what do you mean by that exactly? You don't think we should tell our students that are in public schools and studying history that many of the founding fathers were slave owners? I mean,
hey, you slow down. History is written by the winners, my friend.
Well, it doesn't make it any less true. So what? And so that is too difficult for people to comprehend. Yes, people can be good. People can do good things and still be bad people. Some bad people do good things. Good people do bad things. I mean, there's all sorts of. But it is a crowd coming around a circus. It is like a concert, man. You come here and you hear the same old song over and over and over again. Like when we were traveling around, it was we're going to build the wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. Everyone, I mean, that's as deep as it gets, man. And it's really, it's such a sad commentary on not just us as a country, specifically here in Waukesha, but certainly us as a country.
Well, Dominic, the circus used to come to town every summer, and you knew they were bringing out the elephants. You didn't complain about, I've seen the elephants last year.
Sure. I mean, if you want to just go for the entertainment of it all, I get it. But, there are real-world consequences to having a narcissist like Donald Trump in office. I mean, look at what happened to the Republican Party. They're in disarray.
I met one other guy at least today. And, Evan, if you got a couple minutes, let's play him. Now, this guy was in a full Uncle Sam costume, the fourth cosplayer I met earlier today. 3 former presidents, including Trump. And Uncle Jam, as this man describes himself. I did a little selfie video, me and Uncle Jam. He was the front row of the VIP line. Not the guy that paid $1,400, but just the best dressed guy in line. Play it for the people, Uncle Jam.
Good dinner, Tony.
Sir, what's your name?
Uncle Jam, UncleJam.us.
Where are we at?
We are in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. And I'm saying it's not Waukesha, it's Waukesha. Right?
Waukesha, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how we also call it the Shaw.
Right, and I think I saw a sign that said not Waukesha. I like that.
That's clever. Where are you from, sir?
I'm from America.
Oh, you see what you did?
We're not woke. And look at me.
And what are you hoping to see this afternoon at the Trump rally?
The same thing I always hope to see, and hope is confident expectation. So I'm confidently expecting everybody to get excited for President Trump and await him to tell his big announcement that we believe he's going to run again.
What about Tim Michaels, the gubernatorial candidate here?
That's got Uncle Jam very excited.
Trump's here to endorse him, to reinforce his candidacy. Do you have a dog in the whole gubernatorial race in Wisconsin?
I'm still vetting some. I just, usually a week before I hit a state, I'll check it out and see, because I don't always necessarily endorse any particular candidate, regardless of who does. I go for constitutional people. But sometimes he doesn't endorse anybody, and I think that's smart. Sometimes when it's close, he says, I want the people to see what you guys think. And so he's playing his cards right. So I'm not sure about Michaels, but he's Trump endorsed, so that already puts him on my side, before looking further.
Uncle Jim, hope you enjoy the rally.
He's Trump endorsed, so he's got to be good. Choosy mothers choose Trump.
All in all, we love the Constitution. We love law and order. Well, the guy was Donald Trump oversaw the first time in American history that we did not have a peaceful transfer of power. I mean,
you take such issue with that.
I'm just saying, how do these people square that? I mean, did you ask any of the hard questions, Crute?
Hey, man, I wasn't trying to get my ass beat. Where's my wingman? You barely made it for showtime.
Hey, man, I come sliding in at the last minute. You know how I do it. We know how you do it, folks. We are the Devil's Advocates radio show, the Trump Treason Tour 2022. Sitting out here roasting in Waukesha. It is hot and sunny here in Wisconsin. We're going to take a break right now. Come back with more of your phone calls. 844-967-2789. How long are we keeping this thing going, man?
Till Trump talks.
Oh, my God. Really? You know he's going to be late.
Seven-ish.
All right, seven-ish. Because I'm never on time, right? I mean, he's like Axl Rose.
And you. Come back. More Devil's Advocates live at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Meet lots of nice folks. And those other people we played for you on the radio. More Devils live at Trump.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot.
If doctors, nurses, and grocery store clerks can wear a mask for 10 or 12-hour shifts, you can wear a mask for an hour or less when you go to the store. Do your part. Mask up, America.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Be able to go back to the movies.
Introduce my family to my new girlfriend.
For my husband, who's been a chronic asthmatic his whole life.
So I can visit friends in a different state.
So I can take my granddaughter out to the park again.
So that I can hug my 85-year-old grandma again.
We each have our own reason for why we're getting vaccinated against COVID-19. What will yours be? Visit getvaccineanswers.org for information on the COVID-19 vaccines. It's up to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Warning, listening to the Devil's Advocates may expose you to opposing views.
It's scary. Maybe I'm coming a little bit more left, but...
Well, it's not left. It's good governance, Steve.
It's good to be exposed to different ideas, and I do appreciate that you do put that out there on the airways, because a lot of times where you just get a little soundbite of this or a little bit of that, and that's the end of it. You're to be commended for that.
Dave, I'm glad you finally come around to commending the greatest radio show ever, man.
Follow the Devil's Advocates on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, folks. This is Kirk Bankstad at the Monaco Brewing Company, and I am proud to introduce you to Choice, our new pink grapefruit-flavored hard seltzer. Choice was made in collaboration with Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin, and 5% of the proceeds from every can goes to support them and their fight for reproductive freedom. Choice Hard Seltzer tastes great and comes in at only 105 calories per can. Go to our website, MonacoBrewingCompany.com, to find where you can buy Choice Hard Seltzer.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
The Devil's Advocates. Never personal, only politics.
We are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show. Phone lines are open. We're going to go there next at 844-967-2789. Evan might need your help here. Kind of drop the phones on us. They're dropping everything on us. I believe we had Curtis on the line. Evan, if you want to bring Curtis onto the line with us, that would be fantastic.
Hey, Curtis.
How you doing, Curtis?
Hey, Mr. Don and Crew. How you guys doing? I have a good, powerful question for you. How many people are walking? How many people out there walking around with those weapons on their hips? Because Trump is always for those guns and walking around people.
Well, unlike the speech at the Ellipse, they've got magnometers here, metal detectors. I know because when I came through, I showed the guy I had a couple of pieces of gum, like to have fresh breath at Trump rallies.
You never know we're going to have to kiss someone because you just can't help yourself, Crute.
And he looked at me, he said, it's a metal detector. Like, I don't care about your gum, but if you got a gun, you can't bring it into the Trump rally. Although I think Derek Van Orden's probably packing.
I don't know why. I mean, Trump says, he's not afraid to go into the grocery store with all these people, protect everybody because there's guns around. He says, I can take care of them with no problem. So he should have no problem with the people at his rally with guns, you would think,
You'd like to think, you like to think that Trump would run in even unarmed, wouldn't you?
Hey, thanks for the call, Curtis. We appreciate it. Phones are back up. We're running with you, folks, at 844-967-2789. Let's go with Betsy. Welcome, Betsy. What do you got for us?
How you doing, sister?
Hey, you guys. I want to thank you for doing this. I really love it. I'm having a good time listening, and I'm watching you on Facebook, and I just get a feel of it, and it's really entertaining. And I think Tim Michaels is crazy. And, oh, my God, and Gableman, when he was praying, I really felt it from him, man. I really did. I felt it. Yeah, you know what? I'm just kidding.
There's not a cloud in the sky, Betsy. Betsy, not a cloud in the sky, but I was waiting for Gableman to get struck down by lightning.
Be careful, Crute. Those poor people in Janesville. God rest his soul. God. All right. Well, you guys, thank you for all that you do. Thank you. All right. Have a good time. And
thank you, Betsy. Appreciate. Yeah, we will have a good time. Being at the recent tour 2022 in Waukesha, 844-6727.
I was fun to sing along. We're in the heart of the Trump soundtrack, including Elton John's Tiny Dancer.
He had all the years we went to go see him when he was running
6-song soundtrack
over and over. And we got here, I thought, well, man, he's updated the soundtrack. Well, they must have gone back.
Oh, wait. Marty Robin. Oh, no. Ring of Fire. Johnny Cash.
844-967-2789.
Bird.
Dick from Madison, you're up. Welcome, Dick. What do you got for us?
Don't let me
guys,
sing, Dick.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain that you have to be down there. I have never heard so much drivel in my life. But something that's been thrown out there about Trump that's kind of interesting. Okay, let's just say he won and go with that in the last election. That means he can't run again. Give him his 2020. Seriously, they're saying because you can't run a third time.
Decertify the election and give him like the last week. Call it Trump's term.
Man,
and then you're
1 week,
irrelevant.
1 day, 1 second is too much for that man to be anywhere near the seat of power and the nuclear codes ever again, Dick.
It'd be perfect for all
I agree, but oh my God, this is. I've never heard anything so ridiculous as Michael. I think he might be worse than Scott Walker.
Well, you must have tuned in after Derek Van Orden. I say on the whole crazy scale, I think Van Orden's by a head.
They both had the from the gun thing going on. 844-967-2789. Mark, you are next.
Mark in the sack. Welcome back.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks. It's pretty terrifying the way what some of those guys do, and they obviously Michaels might have taken an oath to the Constitution, but he probably certainly didn't ever read it. I mean, that this is just god awful crazy. Talking about the election was stolen. They're still pumping that stuff out. They had fat butt Gableman there who couldn't find if there's any fraud. Didn't find any fraud, but they still are beating on that thing, and it just is. unless Republicans win, apparently the election was unfair. What exactly? He wants to dissolve the Elections Commission, but there was Scott Walker that established the Wisconsin Elections Commission was established by Walker and the Republicans because they caught Walker cheating so bad. I mean, it is just.
Well, that was the former incarnation. That was the GAB. Got to get rid of the investigators, the retired judges that would have the temerity to investigate the corrupted Scott Walker.
You mean the Scott Walker, who is now, I'm assuming, going to be called a rhino by Trump and the rest of them. Thanks for the call, Mark. Let's squeeze one more in before the top of the hour. It's CJ. CJ, welcome. What do you got for us?
Where are you hiding at the Trump rally, CJ?
I'd be there if I could. How do you guys like being down there with a bunch of country-loving, God-fearing, patriotic Americans? I wonder if Brittany Griner's going to
well, I'll tell you what, CJ, when I find some, I'll let you know.
But, you know, what we're missing is a real economy, and inflation's only getting hurt by this president.
You report 28,000 dude. You're going to have to come material. You better turn CJ in real time, fumbling for words. Afghanistan, you know that's where he was going next.
Benghazi, monkeypox.
What about our emails?
Yeah, what about the emails? What about Navarro's emails? What about the, I don't know, Secret Service's text messages? You know, what about the Department of Homeland Security text messages, right? What about the Pentagon's? What about, we got all sorts of whatabouts, man. It's not good when anybody does it, and now they're doing it under Trump. We got to find out what's happening. As mentioned earlier, Trump's attorneys are in negotiation with the DOJ over something. We don't know what yet, but it can't be good. Hey, Crute, it kind of reminds you, right? If I come down there and if I don't like the tone of those questions, I'm going to ask for an attorney.
Why don't you bring your attorney, as the cops once told me? Back, boy, live, Dominic Crute, special event going overtime. It's time for our encore. We'll play Tiny Dancer, and you can't always get what you want.
You're such a lovely car.
I'm sick and tired of the pro-choice versus pro-life argument. It's past time we get honest with each other. Pro-choice or forced birth. That's what we will have if we take away the ability of women to make choices for their own bodies, their own futures. Send me to the U.S. Senate and I will vote to codify Roe v. Wade. I will vote for the autonomy of women. You can find my position on all the issues at PekarskyForWisconsin.com and follow the campaign on Facebook and Twitter. This ad paid for by Pekarsky for Wisconsin.
Listen to the Empowered Caregiver Show each Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with hosts Liza Hellenbrand and Kristen Voss. Right here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning, business or residence, please give us a call. We have the best system available and an amazing team of friendly technicians. Call us at 848-9000 or schedule online at zeroresmadison.com.
You are listening to WTTN 1580 AM Columbus, W224 EG Madison, always streaming on the Devil Radio app.
AP News, I'm Tim McGuire. 10 people, 7 adults and 3 children, all from an extended family, are dead in a house fire early this morning in northeastern Pennsylvania. The children were 5, 6, and 7. The adults ranged in age from the late teens to a 79-year-old man. A Texas jury orders InfoWars host Alex Jones to pay $49.3 million in total damages to the parents of a first grader killed in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre, which the conspiracy theorists falsely called a hoax. The amount is less than the $150 million sought by Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, whose 6-year-old son, Jesse Lewis, was among the 20 children and 6 educators killed in the deadliest classroom shooting in U.S. history. Jones still faces 2 other defamation lawsuits from his Sandy Hook families in Texas and Connecticut. The July jobs report comes in way above expectation. Sagar Magani looks at the numbers.
Economists had predicted 250,000 new jobs. The White House went even lower, saying record job growth would ease.
Closer to 150,000 jobs per month.
Instead, employers added a stunning 528,000 jobs, restoring all the jobs lost during the virus-induced recession. The unemployment rate is down to a pandemic low 3.5%.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Democrats have made changes in their economic bill, paring their proposed minimum tax on big corporations. He says the changes were made to gain the support of Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema.
I believe strongly in the carried interest loophole. I have voted for it. I've pushed for it. I pushed for it to be in this bill. Senator Sinema said she would not vote for the bill, not even move to proceed unless we took it out. So we had no choice.
Schumer needs the backing of all Democrats and independents who caucus with them, and Vice President Kamala Harris as the tie-breaking vote. This is AP News. Thunderstorms along.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly. All for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Hi, this is Robert Pilot. How do you use your energy? Alliant Energy has ideas to jumpstart your spring cleaning. A great place to start is by checking your detectors: carbon monoxide, natural gas, and smoke detectors. Replace your batteries and then test to make sure that they work by pressing and holding the test button. You should hear an ear-piercing alarm. Alliant Energy is a proud sponsor of Native Roots Radio. For more spring cleaning tips, visit AlliantEnergy.com.
President Trump lost the election. Joe Biden won the election.
Collectively, Republicans got 1.661 million votes, 51,000 more votes than Trump got.
He exhausted his cases. He exhausted the court challenges.
All the Republicans voted for Trump the way they voted for the assembly candidates. He would have won.
It was not rigged. It was not stolen. Donald Trump lost the election. Joe Biden won the election. It's really clear.
This message was paid for by the People for People Corporation. Donate online at p4ppc.org.
This local musical interlude is brought to you by Max Inc. Radio. Kelsey Miles.
Let the music roll. Hit it.
Listen to Max Inc. Radio every Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. to midnight. Download the podcast at maxincradio.com. We are local music.
Jimmy, that last band told me they drove all the way to Beloit for gummies.
Do they know they can get gummies right here in Madison at Quality CBD?
No, I guess not.
Yeah, Delta 8 and 9, THCP, pre-rolls, even bath balls and kombucha. They have everything you need.
I'm going to send them down to Quality CBD right now, 1222 Williamson Street in Madison.
Or find them online at qualitycbd.org.
To Chicago, Miss Maddie starts calling me.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair with your headlines. Flags across Wisconsin are being flown at half-mast, honoring the victims of the Oak Creek Sikh Temple shooting that happened 10 years ago today. 7 people, including one victim who died in 2020 from his injuries, were killed after a white supremacist opened fire while members were preparing for Sunday school classes. Several others were wounded. Former President Donald Trump will be in Waukesha today, rallying for construction businessman Tim Michels. Michels receiving the former president's endorsement earlier this summer to take on Democratic like Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers in fall. Milwaukee should find out today if it's been selected to host the 2024 Republican National Convention. Nashville essentially withdrew its bid earlier this week. Sunny today with a high of 86, clear tonight, low of 70. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN 1580 AM.
Blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band.
Back to special edition Devil's Advocates.
Come on,
All this
man.
penalty time. We're doing an encore here from the Trump rally, Waukesha County Fairgrounds. And Elton John features prominently on the playlist here. I was just reading a little ditty at CNN. Apparently, Britney Spears and Sir Elton John doing a duet, and Britney has written a new verse for Tiny Dancer. I'm intrigued, but I have nothing more to offer.
I'm intrigued that you're intrigued. How do you add to a great classic song like this? But of course, Donald Trump doing what he can to murder this song for me because he keeps playing it over and over and over again.
Well, Betsy and I can sing it. You love that. 4-967-2799. Still going. This live special covered all now. We're here in Waukesha. These are interesting times. Senatorial primary on Tuesday. Of course, we've got the senatorial Democrat, but the drama long on parts looks like the inevitable choice for the Dems. It's still a hot and heated race here, Tom, and it all through the Shaw. Over at the church, but Donald Trump's Wisconsin trying to leave his mark on the Republican gubernatorial primary. Oh, he's leaving a mark, a skid mark. There's something slightly odd but perfectly logical about former President Donald Trump's trip to Waukesha today and his effort to influence the outcome of Wisconsin's GOP primary for governor. The odd part is that the Milwaukee Republican suburbs have been a recurring political disappointment for Trump. Wah, wah. They symbolize lost ground for his party during the Trump era. The logical part is that Waukesha is still where the votes are for Republicans and Democrats. I'm telling you, the most active Democratic Party in the state right here in Waukesha County. The WOW counties outside Milwaukee, talking Waukesha, Ozaukee, and Washington, are not as red as they used to be. Not since the Shaw came to town, but they remain the largest concentration of GOP voters in the state. These voters have almost always backed the winner in the big Republican primaries and have often determined the outcome. And Trump will headline a rally for construction executive Tim Mike. Clear down, less than impressive. A leading Republican candidate for governor. His appearance will come 2 days after former VP Mike Pence. Big Mike Pence campaigned in Waukesha for the top contender in the August 9th GOP primary. Former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clinton. Didn't want you to get confused.
Of course.
Wisconsin is the latest battleground where Trump and his old running mate have taken opposing sides. Sort of a proxy war going on, Dom.
It's a disarray.
Taking opposing sides in Republican primaries as they contest their own and their party's political future. So the soul of the GOP being fought for right now in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
The plot lines. The plot lines don't end there. This is Trump's first visit to Wisconsin since he was president. He remains a in the GOP, but he is less popular among Republicans than he was as president. Really disliked outside the Republican base.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Trump's endorsement of Mike Pence, not just against him, also against former Scott Walker. He drove out of the 2016 presidential race. Walker pulling out the Scruty.
Deep nuts in Iowa. 0.0.
Walker backs Clayfish. Polling shows that Trump and Walker both get positive ratings from most GOP voters in Wisconsin, but not entirely from the same GOP voters. There are some Walker voters who don't like Trump, and there are some pro-Trump voters who don't like Walker. Which of these two one-time presidential rivals on the winning side of the Wisconsin primary, question mark?
Dominic, when you go against Trump, there's always going to be pain.
Trump, there's always going to be pain eventually. Another bullet point here, this week's dueling Waukesha stops highlight the huge shifting political role of the Waukesha counties. The August 9th primary will help answer whether the path to victory in the GOP primary still runs through suburban southeast Wisconsin at a time when the party's base is increasingly rural. The November general election will help answer a very different question, whether Republicans can arrest or reverse their political erosion in this key region.
They will not, I assure you.
All these questions circle back to former President Trump and stature out of office.
What about the polling, Dom?
The first thing it tells us is that Trump has negative numbers with the election as a whole. This makes him a very mixed blessing for his come November. He helps motivate the pro-Trump base, but turns off some swing voters and energizes the other side as well. Combining 4 state-based surveys conducted over the past 10 months at University Law School, 37% of Wisconsin voters view Trump favorably, unfavorably. His positive rating overall from 4 outside of the party. People rate 27% among independent voters and 5% Democrats. Independents and Democrats got a problem with seditious conspiracy. Get over it. Even within his party, he has slipped a bit since he was president. For 20, favorability rating has declined among Republican leaning in from 84 to 71% in Wisconsin, and Republicans view him unfavorably than 18 to 21. At the time, among most Republicans here nationally, this blew my mind. That explains how he's been able to boost the fortunes of many of his favorite candidates in Republican primaries this year. Trump's positive this year among voters in Wisconsin at 71% is almost identical to that of Walker, who was viewed favorably by 72% of Republicans and GOP-leaning independents in Marquette's June poll. But polling suggests there are differences in their poll. In the June poll, at 56% of Wisconsin Republicans, both men, but a quarter of GOP voters were divided over the two Republicans. 30% were pro-Walker, but anti-Trump, and 11% were Trump and anti-Walker, according to an analysis by Franklin. It's hard to say from the limited primary polling how much these polls are affecting the Michaels Clayfish race, but the numbers tell the story you'd expect them to, given the competing endorsements of Trump and Walker. In the June survey, Clayfish had a small lead over Michaels with pro-Trump voters, and Michaels had a small lead over Clayfish over pro-Trump voters. The anti favored Clayfish and anti-Walker Republicans clearly favored Michaels, but the sample sizes are small in the last two because there simply aren't large Wisconsin Republicans who just either Trump or Walker, which again is still shocking to me. I mean, not to lie, Trump and Walker both have something on next Tuesday. The candidacy is inseparable from her on the ticket in the Walker administration. Trump's endorsement has been critical to making Mike better, as has Michael's heavy personal spending on TV ads. But the Trump effect on this priority is dramatic as in other states where Trump is a more central issue in the race. This is not a contest between ultra-Trump Republican and an anti-Trump Republican. Both Clayfish and Michaels pro-Trump. That goes back to the 2020 election, but neither has centered their campaign on a rejection of the 2020 election result. Damn. I have a support the political dividing lines as primary, not very stark.
Keisha, watch as well. Right. Former president, political history. I'd say in the Spurs. He was 12th in the state's president primary and underperformed Waukesha counties in his 2 November elections. Trump carried the Waukesha County for president by 36 points in 2004 and 35 in 2012. So Trump's on the best. GOP margin declined to 28-16 in 2020 and 2020. While this slippage, it's shrinking. This slippage reflects national trend metropolitan suburbs. Trump contributed to party's suburban votes, just as contributed to his party's growing rural dominance. And for this reason, you probably won't see Trump campaigning in October. Even the general, we do. I'll try to drag down over here. Let me point something out. There is a right talk radio primary goes on here in Wisconsin. And Rebecca Clayfish, I would have always characterized as sort of the talk radio choice. She's been earning her. It was 8 Walker, 4 years since running for governor. And then this outsider, self-leader, the billionaire from King Arthur's Court. Well, Tim Michels has been spending millions and millions of dollars outstate in the rural parts of Wisconsin. And that was very much the Donald Trump formula. But by bringing Trump here to the heart of the County, to Waukesha County, to Becky Clayfish's backyard, hugely strategic, and perhaps it's a game changer. Because I can tell you, many of the people I met here in Waukesha prior to this rally had very few opinions of the gubernatorial candidate Trump endorsed, Tim Michels. They barely know who the guy is, don't have strong feelings about him, and that speech, my opinion is, loud talker. Come back, more Devil's Advocates, extra, bonus, encore coverage, live at the Trump rally, Waukesha County. Come back with us.
Supplying your political fix on the back roads from Sauk City to Beaver Dam on WTTN 1580 AM Devil Radio.
Brand and Kristen Voss, right here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair with your headlines. GOP businessman Tim Michels rallying tonight at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds just days before the August 9th partisan primary. Former President Trump will appear. He endorsed Michels earlier this summer to take on Democratic Governor Tony Evers in fall. Former VP Mike Pence is supporting former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish in her bid. State Rep Tim Ramthun also remains in the race. Over 1,800 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in Wisconsin on Thursday. The Department of Health Services also reporting 2 new deaths. 508 COVID patients being treated in Wisconsin hospitals, 80 of those in the ICU. It's Packers family night tonight in Green Bay, and the inventor of the Lambeau Leap, Leroy Butler, is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tomorrow night in Canton, Ohio. Sunny today with a high of 86, clear tonight, low of 70. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN 1580 AM.
Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show extended coverage of the Trump Treason Tour 2022 here in Waukesha. You can join us on the phones at 844-967-2789.
You know, they're playing Everybody Dance now and playing some of the highlights of Donald Trump doing the white guy dance. Where he like moves his fist side to side, points at the crowd, gives lots of thumbs ups. It's quite intriguing.
It's the weirdest thing.
Point. Shake, point.
You know, when
shake,
he was out, running for president, when he lost the last election, Republicans, he started doing the dance thing. I thought it was like some sort of mental, breakdown or mental effort to deal with the obvious.
He does it to Macho Man. Now they're doing a crowd shot. You know, the other day at Atwood Fest, there were lots of women exposing themselves. Less so here at the Trump rally, but
I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad that we don't have to be exposed to the exposed MAGAs. Evan, we have some sound today from the president. Today was not just the ex-president.
You mean the real president?
The real president, yes. There is a real president. He's doing real things.
Do you think Joe Biden's sitting back in Delaware, shake, point?
Well, he's having a hell of a time shaking that COVID. So I hope he's just sitting back and, taking his vitamins and drinking his orange juice, maybe a screwdriver.
Well, look, good news this morning on the jobs front, though, Dom.
Apparently, yes, there was. Let's get to some of that sound, Evan. Let me pull up and see what we have to offer our fair audience. The jobs numbers, as Crute mentioned, 528,000 jobs. I think that was double expectations. Evan, if you would please, let's play cut number 10.
528,000 jobs were added just last month to this country's employment. 528,000 jobs.
That's a lot of jobs. More from President Joe Biden on the economy. More people working, cut 11.
Today, there are more people working in America than before the pandemic began. In fact, there are more people working in America than any point in American history.
It's too bad Donald Trump's still unemployed.
Thank God he is. Aren't there more Americans in America right now than any point in American history?
Well, with Joe Biden's open borders policy, the number's swelling all the time.
I don't know if those count. Let's hear more from the real president, Waukesha, cut number 12.
I know people will hear today's extraordinary jobs report and say they don't see it, they don't feel it in their own lives. I know how hard it is.
It is, and these are great numbers, but there's lots of headwinds, lots of variables, lots of pockets of areas where it's not as good, some areas where it's better. So at least he has the wherewithal to recognize that. An empathetic president versus a narcissistic president, no wonder why at least we're having some different results. Let's hear more from Biden, cut number 13.
And some people may have given up on American manufacturing, but the American people didn't, and I know I never did.
Well, no, they didn't. They just gave billions and billions of dollars to chip manufacturers who, basically held it over our heads that if we didn't give them the money, they're going to take that stuff elsewhere. And Bernie Sanders not very happy with that one. I tend to agree with Bernie on that. But we do need manufacturing, and it does show, with the most recent issues we've been having with China, that, if we're captured, if we have our chip market is captured overseas and we have some issues overseas, well, that becomes a major supply problem. Now, there's a reason why the chip makers did it that way, because they make more money that way. But, neither here nor there. Biden didn't give up on manufacturing. They just give the chip manufacturers billions of dollars. Let's move on.
Well, he couldn't have given that sort of socialist support without the support of Republicans in a bipartisan fashion.
Excellent point, Michael. A few more from President Trump on the economy. Let's play cut number 14, please.
America is a nation that was built on work. We can never lose sight of that. That's why the strength and pace of our job recovery is so important.
It's on work. Does Donald Trump ever work a day in his life? Let's hear more from Biden on the Inflation Reduction Act. Apparently, Cinema has stepped up and agreed to it, but they're not going to touch the carried interest loophole. And what about the 15% minimum tax? Not sure. Let's hear what the president had to say. Cut number 15.
This bill is a game changer for working families and our economy.
It is a game changer. And one more from the president, cut 16.
This bill will not, let me repeat this. This bill will not raise taxes on anybody making less than $400,000 a year.
I'm down because I'm just under that amount.
Just a smidge under?
Just a smidge. Well, and I did read some analysis done of like 100, 125 of the top companies with all the profits. They're paying like a 1.1% tax rate, which is, of course, obviously obscene. Now, I don't know if this is going to address that, solve it, at least to the degree that we need it. But, getting them to agree on something right now, really not the $3.5 trillion bill that Bernie Sanders was pushing, but at this point, we'll take what we can get, man, and it's more than the Republicans have to offer. And what have the Republicans offered? Can you think of anything they're offering right now? I mean, all the
law and order
Republicans we heard today. But how? What? What are you talking about? What does that mean exactly? You're going to hire more cops? You're throwing more people in jail?
Well, we're not going to defund the police like Tony Evers and Joe Biden.
Is that what they did? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Tony Evers in Wisconsin put more money towards police. So, great economic news. We certainly have headwinds. The inflation is still very high. But it's I'll take the good news over the bad news, and it's very interesting to see how Republicans are digging in and trying to find something terrible about 528,000 jobs created, apparently under the wrong administration.
I was listening to Righty Whitey Talk Radio, as I occasionally do, Dom, and I forget which one's on break. I think it's Clay of the Clay and Buck, but Buck was very disappointed for his team. So he's effectively rooting against America, because when you see an excellent jobs report, that means things are working. But he took great umbrage with that. And they all take great umbrage with the fact there could be legislation coming down the pike and a vote on the scale down, the anti-inflationary Build Back Better, the scale down Build Back Better vote could come as early as Saturday.
Oh, really? Excellent.
U.S. Senate working weekends. The Democrats' budget reconciliation package, which gained more heft after West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin agreed to add back several climate and tax provisions, is getting closer to a vote in the Senate. It now also has the critical support of Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema, who demanded several changes be made. Never mind. Still, the efforts remain a mere shadow of the sweeping $3.5 trillion reconciliation package that the majority party initially floated last year. And after torpedoing the inclusion of any climate or tax provisions in mid-July, Manchin, they call him here, Dom, a moderate Democrat, has reversed course. The measure joined a handful of important but narrow provisions to lower prescription drug prices and to extend enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies for 3 years. If you're on the Obamacare exchanges, you have been getting a more substantial subsidization from the federal government since the pandemic. That was part of the American Rescue Plan, I believe. So the extension of that policy, that's great for the American people, for the vast majority of people living on the lowest rungs that find their only affordable health care comes through the Obamacare exchanges. A little bit more, what they cut. Gone are the creation of universal pre-K program, an extension of the enhanced health care tax credit. Now, that was also a great policy. That raised nearly half the children in poverty in the United States out of poverty. I can see why Republicans hate it.
Yeah, right?
A little bit more, an expansion of Medicare benefits. That's also out. The establishment of a federally funded paid family and sick leave program and many other provisions aimed at broadening the nation's social safety net. Those are the things on the outs, though, Dom. Come back with us. We're outside. We're at a Trump rally in Waukesha. It's beautiful. It's sunny. Cool down a little. I think we got a little shade here now. Well, there's lots of shady around us, Tom. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, man.
Perhaps some more Elton John tunes, and it is a limited soundtrack that they play here at the Trump rallies.
Can't spend too much money on the music.
Come back. We'll bring you all the highlights, all the commentary, all the punditry, right up to the stellar Trump speech sometime around 7.
I am once again asking you to listen to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM. I believe they have the moral fiber to create a progressive movement in Wisconsin and indeed in America.
Relief funds designed to help small business owners across the country.
When we commit funds to help American small business, it actually goes to those small businesses they're supposed to go to. We know that the last administration, that's not what happened. Too much of small business relief funding, which was passed by the Congress, ended up in the hands of those who either didn't need it or criminal syndicates who outright stole the money.
President noting that his administration will find those who stole the tens of millions of dollars.
My message to those cheats out there is this: you can't hide. We're going to find you. We're going to make you pay back what you stole and hold you accountable under the law.
Biden signed 2 bills today that will extend the time to 10 years that prosecutors have to investigate and prosecute fraud committed through the COVID relief programs. I'm Tim McGuire.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus. And financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly, all for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning, business or residence, please give us a call. We have the best system available and an amazing team of friendly technicians. Call us at 848-9000 or schedule online at zeroresmadison.com.
When you're having computer problems, you need a company you trust to get things working again, quickly and affordably. Madison Computer Works has been doing that for business and residential customers for decades. Our computer care plans take away the hassle of being without your computer or needing to bring it in for repair. Starting at only $10 a month, our local and friendly techs provide remote help and can fix most problems in just minutes. Call 608-231-8000 and sign up today. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
Listen to the Empowered Caregiver Show each Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with hosts Liza Hellenbrand and Kristen Voss. Right here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair with your headlines. Former President Donald Trump will be in Waukesha today at a campaign rally for construction businessman Tim Michels. Michels receiving the former president's endorsement for governor of Wisconsin earlier this summer. Virtually no other state or federal Republican elected official will be at today's event in Waukesha. A decision from the National Republican Committee site selection team expected today to make the decision to choose Milwaukee or Nashville for the Republican Party's 2024 National Convention. Nashville essentially withdrew their bid earlier this week, so today's announcement is expected to be Milwaukee. Flags around Wisconsin at half-mast today to remember the victims of the Sikh temple shooting in Oak Creek that happened 10 years ago today. Sunny today with a high of 86, clear tonight, low of 70. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN 1580 AM.
Waukesha, Wisconsin. Welcome back to special extended coverage, something of an encore. You love it, though. The Devil's Advocate's taking you all the way up to a Donald Trump rally speech. He's here on behalf of Tim Michels. He's endorsed the man. Now, earlier today, Don, we heard from Michels. He's a loud talker.
He's probably a close talker, too.
He's like he projects well, Don. That's good for broadcast. Not so good for rhetorical statements, you know. Looks like he's spitting at the microphone mostly. We also heard from the very Alex Jones-like Derek Van Orden, the insurrectionist from the third CD. He's the Republicans only, so he will be their nominee. That, of course, is the race to replace Ron Kind on, Wisconsin's sort of western river border. But they've also picked up that Stevens Point, Wisconsin Rapids area. and somehow that is now part of the third CD. So if you're listening to me up in Wausau right now, you might be part of the third. You better check your congressional maps. We are going to have a little bit of fun here, Dom. We can still take people's phone calls at 844-967-2789. But Trump's coming to town with a specter over his head, Dom. His lawyers, apparently, if you believe the reporting of CNN, people here don't, because that's fake news. But apparently Trump's lawyers in discussions with the Department of Justice, that cannot be a good sign for the former.
It's a great sign for justice. As CNN reports, Liz Cheney has posed the question with which America may have to wrestle for months to come. If there is evidence that ex-President Donald Trump committed crimes in seeking to overturn the 2020 election, what message will it send if he's not charged? The Wyoming representative, who serves as the vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the attack, issued what was effectively a challenge to the Justice Department, as CNN reported on Thursday that Trump's lawyers are in talks with his prosecutors, one of the most concrete steps yet toward the former commander-in-chief. The news was the latest sign that the department, criticized for months for moving too slowly to investigate the election effort, and his incitement of the mob that invaded the U.S. Capitol, is moving with speed and broadening its scope, though there remains no indication when or even if the former president will be charged in the Justice Department's probe. Cheney argued in an interview with CNN's Casey Hunt, taped Wednesday, that if the Justice Department failed to act in the face of evidence of criminal wrongdoing, it would be disastrous to the idea of America itself. Understanding what it means if the facts and evidence are there and they decide not to prosecute, how do we then call ourselves a nation of laws, said Cheney, one of two Republicans on the panel. CNN senior analyst Preet Raha said that the fact that Trump's lawyers are already in communication with the investigation suggests they believe he may have some significant exposure down the line. After engaged to me, lawyers think that there is some jeopardy here and they should engage sooner rather than later, he said. He cautioned that the investigation could last a long time, that it is about whether or not to charge Donald Trump could occur many months from now. Learning what Trump was saying and thinking as his mob smashed its way into the U.S. Capitol during his prior schemes designed to overturn the election loss could help establish whether the ex-president acted with corrupt intent. He did, and could be at risk of being criminally charged. More immediately, the dialogue with Trump's lawyers could also be the curtain raiser to what many may well be a critical legal fight over the extent to which Trump, as ex-president, can assert executive privilege over conversations and advice he received while in office. Such a case could go all the way to the Supreme Court and in itself break new legal ground, since there's litigation on the issue concerning out-of-office presidents. Well, no former presidents have been charged with crimes, let alone this kind of crime, Crute. So that's the news. And my concern ultimately, man, when it comes back to Wisconsin. So Milwaukee's officially getting the RNC, right? Woo-hoo! The MAGA's coming.
I know, you're very excited.
No, man, because listen, if it takes many months, as Raz said, it takes that long. It could take a long time. Well, it could be very well around the time that he comes into town for the MAGA, for the RNC, right? Well, how do you think his nationalist, racist, oath keeper, 3%er types are going to react when that news is out? They're gonna burn Milwaukee to the ground.
Oh,
that's my concern, man. I mean, we saw what they did. It's not gonna get better unless there's consequence, and one of the consequences will be Donald Trump being indicted, Donald Trump paying a price for what he did.
Now, Dominic, I would point out to you, I was here earlier today, here in Waukesha, where Donald Trump will appear later. There were dozens, I mean, just squad after squad after squad, Waukesha County sheriffs. You cannot tell me that there's any chance of substantial violence happening here. You know what I mean? And I would say the same sort of police presence at the RNC in Milwaukee in 2024 gives me reassurance that I can poke that bear all I want to and not face any ramification. Poke away, baby, poke away.
They did it once, man. They already did it once. What makes you think it wouldn't happen again?
Well, you know,
that's what I'm saying. And they're
not going to wreck their own party.
They're going to anymore? They're not going to wreck their party anymore? What are you talking about? They're already doing it. They're in disarray.
I mean, their party, literally, the RNC is
the party, the soiree?
It's a soiree.
Not the political party?
Not the political party. That's, you know,
That's
it is in disarray. It is been destroyed. You know, strangely, I do smell the smell of freedom in the air here at the Trump rally. Do you smell a little weed?
I do not, but they should come over here if they got some. Pass it up.
Puff, puff, pass. You know, I was reading the prohibited items here at the Trump rally, alcohol amongst them.
Oh, terrible.
Because Trump's, you know, not a big drinker. But Ritalin, oh, that's fun. Apparently, if my nose is any judge, somebody's smoking some ganja out here. You know, it reminds me of home. Reminds me of the DNC, Dom. We might have been the only ones smoking ganja in the parking ramps in Cleveland, just outside the green zone. But, you know, it'll be a good time because we'll take you to the center of the political universe. Dom, this is like a dry run for the RNC MKE 2024. Getting you ready, getting you back in shape for the political circuit.
You know, I given the timing and the way the way issues seem to be progressing.
Are they playing memories from Cats?
On these other cases?
Is this new to the playlist? Sorry to interrupt.
Specifically to the Department of Justice. I mean, if he's indicted, and as Preet said, in the next couple of months or next several months, so hell, even after the first of the year, I mean, there's going to be lots of opportunity for things to play out prior to to Milwaukee. And
I would still say it seems quite unlikely to me that you would have a conviction. Even, I know that seems like a long time, but this is a far more complicated issue than, let's say, charging Steve Bannon with the indefensible contempt of Congress. Well, it was a short trial and a quick conviction, but, I mean, you're probably talking best case scenario indictments next year. You're probably, you're going to see pretrial delays last for a year or more.
Right. So you're going to have a potential, 2024 Republican MAGA presidential candidate under indictment coming to Milwaukee, firing up the crowd about how this is all political harassment and he didn't do anything wrong and you got to go fight for your freedoms. And when those people roll out of that convention, where are they rolling to? They're rolling to the streets of Milwaukee, man. They're coming to Water Street. They're coming to Brady Street. They're coming to the South Side. They're coming to the West Side, man. What are they going to do? They're going to be fired up just like they were when Trump gave that speech and they went and ransacked the Capitol.
Dom, a little of the reporting from Politico. Milwaukee will host the 2024 Republican National Convention.
Terrible idea.
According to committee chair Rhoda McDaniel, Romney announced in an announcement Friday. Here's her quote. "I'm excited to announce that the RNC has voted unanimously without any other options to select Milwaukee as the host city for the 2024 Republican National Convention.
We got nowhere else to go."
Now, Nashville had been in contention, apparently, Dom, but Nashville pulled the plug and Milwaukee won by default. Or as Rhoda McDaniel would tweet, Milwaukee is a world-class city, and we are eager to see it shine in the spotlight of 2024. Now, Milwaukee was recommended by the GOP site selection panel in mid-July and formally chosen as the host city during the RNC's August meeting this week in Chicago. Milwaukee and Nashville, as mentioned, were both floated as host cities, but the Tennessee capital lost out after two city council members pulled the draft agreement to host the convention from the council's agenda at the last minute. Well, they were a little smarter. They didn't want it, so they pulled it. Here in Milwaukee, the Common Council unanimously approved this, right? 13-0, Dom?
Terrible idea. I mean, Chicago was really excited to get the 1968 Democratic Convention, too. See how that turned out. And this is going to be worse, dude. I mean, I hope for the best, but I just don't see how when Trump's indicted and he shows up mad as hell, he's not going to take it anymore, and he gets all the megas fired up. How are they going to expend that energy, dude?
Supporting Ron DeSantis, the nominee. A little bit more here. The Democratic National Committee also selected Milwaukee, did they, to hold its convention in 2020, though it mostly virtual format due to the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. I hadn't noted that.
Yeah.
Joe threw the big party in the street of Delaware, Wilmington, I think it was. Now, McDaniel told Fox News on the eve of the RNC's vote that Wisconsin's position as a bellwether state was a factor in the RNC considering to host the presidential nomination convention. It's a purple state. It's exactly the voters that we're trying to bring into our party. You Wisconsinites, you should be Republicans a little bit more. We're trying to bring into our party, and they've done such a great job. We're excited not only to elect our future president out of Milwaukee as a Republican and troll the great city of Milwaukee overall.
All right.
More from Daniel, but we're excited to showcase a wonderful city and a wonderful state.
It is a wonderful city. It is a wonderful state. I hope it stays that way.
You're not very welcoming, Dom.
I don't want them here, man. You want 3%ers and, these folks marching in the street with their little khaki uniforms?
But I was standing at the gate as I was walking in tonight, and there's a guy proudly wearing his 3%er T-shirt here, right in Waukesha County.
Yeah,
right?
yes, and there'll be
fairgrounds,
and it will be a rallying cry for them to join their indicted seditious conspiracy ex-president to Milwaukee.
Their cult leader.
Yes, their cult leader. And when the cult leader tells them, "You got to fight for me. We're not going to take this. Don't take the woke folks. Don't let them keep you down." What do you think's going to happen, man? I have absolutely no faith, because I'm fine with the people of Milwaukee. We'll be fine. But when they come out and they start running through town because they're mad, I'm very concerned about that.
I'll keep you safe, Dom. I'll protect you.
I'm not worried about me, man. I'm worried about the city. I'm worried about the MAGAs doing what they did to the Capitol, worse to Milwaukee.
Get behind me, Milwaukee. I'll keep the entire city safe. I'll wear my red hat. I'll be like the Pied Piper. I'll confuse them all. I'll go running. I'll jump into Lake Michigan. They'll all follow me.
It's a
like
bad
lemmings
idea.
to the lake.
If no other city in the country wants them, why the hell do you think it's a good idea for them to come to Milwaukee?
200 million reasons I can give you, Dom.
Good luck.
The mayor wanted them. The common council president wanted them. The county executive wanted them.
But no other city in the country did.
Well, after the whole 2020 no DNC, you gotta get some convention here, don't you?
Yeah, I think the insurance company has a national convention every year.
Come back, more Devils live in Waukesha. Pre-Trump party.
Hi, this is Brad from Zero Res. If you need someone to help with your carpet cleaning, business or residence, please give us a call. We have the best system available and an amazing team of friendly technicians. Call us at 848-9000 or schedule online at zeroresmadison.com.
When it comes to computers, Madison Computer Works has been the leader in computer help, service, and support for more than 35 years. Our friendly techs have the expertise to help you choose the right computer for your needs. We make it easy to get a new computer by moving your data, reinstalling programs, and setting up your printers and email for you. Our competitive pricing and awesome tech support make moving to a new computer painless and affordable. Whether servicing your old computer or buying a new one, we'll help you do it right. Madison Computer Works, computers that work for you.
Listen to the Empowered Caregiver Show each Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with hosts Liza Hellenbrand and Kristen Voss. Right here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair with your headlines. GOP businessman Tim Michaels holding a rally tonight at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds just days before the August 9th partisan primary. Former President Trump will appear. He endorsed Michaels earlier this summer. Former VP Mike Pence is supporting former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish in her bid to take on Democratic Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers in fall. State Rep Tim Ramthun also remains in the race. A Janesville couple is dead after they were hit by lightning across the street from the White House Thursday night. James and Donna Miller were both in their mid-70s. 2 others are hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. It's Packers family night tonight in Green Bay, and the inventor of the Lambeau Leap, Leroy Butler, being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tomorrow night in Canton, Ohio. Sunny today with a high of 86, clear tonight, low of 70. You're listening to Devil Radio, 92.7 FM, WTTN 1580 AM.
And we are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show, extended coverage of the Trump Treason Tour 2022 in Waukesha. We're waiting on Trump, but they put a video up of Mike Lindell, so that's great. Let's hear what this guy has to say.
If they would have done that, everyone would have went into a mode. Maybe not all of you, but most people would have said,
CPAC.
It's just we still have the Senate. We'll get them back in 2022. Red wave, and the next time would be blue wave, red wave. All this uniparty stuff going on, but instead they both, and everyone's going. Now what do we do? Well, they had a backup plan. What did they do to silence us? They
Republican Party, you're terrible.
On January 7th is very significant that we got through January 7th, and here's why.
Why?
January 7th is the day they tried to silence us forever. 1.2 million Americans lost their crooked Vimeos, YouTubes, Suckerbucks, Facebook, Twitter, deplatformed, churches deplatformed, not just our great president, Donald Trump. They tried to silence our voices. Conservative media.
Truth,
one of them rhymes with Fox, went completely silent about the election. Okay?
Well, that was the
silent about it. They won't talk to you about the election. They won't even talk. We have 2,000 mules on there. That has nothing to do with machines. It's disgusting. Okay? So
2,000 meals is disgusting.
But they did silence our voices, okay? And over the last year and a half now, here's where we're at, and here's what's going to get our country back.
Oh, great. He's got it. In 2 weeks, it's going to happen.
August 13th, right?
The judges, they didn't have
that was
back
last year, though.
Let me tell you.
Tell me.
I'll tell you who didn't have our back were all the legislatures. We've learned now the Republican legislatures in a lot of these states, they turned their back on us. We've learned we've learned so much from the 2020 election, where the horrible, we call them rhinos. I call them criminal rhinos. You go Brad Rasmussen down in Georgia. It's disgusting what he's done. Okay, and there's
the
a
guy
blocker.
that got the call from Trump looking for
Rusty Bowers is gone, everybody.
Votes.
How about that? You got the blocker Robin Voss up in Wisconsin. The president just endorsed his opponent. God bless him, because Robin Voss needs to go. Okay, these are things that are going to happen. But I want to tell you about the judges. You go back a year and a half ago, and those judges, not one judge.
It's right on right, man.
Antrim County, Michigan. The judge did look there. If you all heard that on the news, he looked, but he didn't rule on it. He said, I don't want to be the first guy to be able to talk about this. The judges had fear back then. They have families too. They're like all of us. They have friends, family, kids, children, grandchildren.
Mike Lindell has
we were in an anomaly back then. We're still in an anomaly in history.
Yes, you are.
But now it's different. They've all learned so much. They've, people that were over here are now in the middle because they see how our country's being destroyed. This isn't a Democrat thing. This is the Democratic Party just likes that they were picked in this fraud election. We skipped right over socialism to communism is where we're at.
Oh, my God.
But these judges now are getting braver. Look at the judge in Florida that made the great ruling and said the masks are nonsense on airplanes and no mandates, right? That changed history. Look at Roe v. Wade right in the middle of all this. What a miracle, right? We have a judge. Here's another thing with Kari Lake. We're doing preliminary injunctions to get rid of the machines in all these states. We started with Arizona 2 weeks ago. You're not going to see this on
Kari
Fox
Lake
News.
won the primary in
You need to go
Arizona.
to Frank's speech. You need to go to my platform. You're going to hear it. That's why I built it, so we could get the word out.
Frank's speech and True Social, where you need to go to get all yours.
This judge in Arizona agreed to look at the case, and he was an Obama-appointed judge. He's just doing his job as a judge. I got terrible ones out in D.C. One of them was Trump appointed with
what he's smoking, man.
There. But this judge looked at it. And I want you to think of this. This judge looked at this. It was a hearing 2 weeks ago. Looks at all the evidence of these machines. And the relief is to get rid of them and do paper ballots and hand counting.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
He looked at it. Now compare it to this. If I told you, if I'm in the state of Arizona, or let's say I'm here in Texas, and I said, hey, do you know we just have...
I got to be honest. I can't even follow what he's saying.
Well, and they're playing them here at the Trump rally. Do it. I mean, this is one of their guys, man. He is one up on the pedestal. He's on the screen right now. He's got free reign. He got more time than Michaels did.
Well, that's because they're buddies. and he barely knows that Michaels guy talking about Trump. But the incoherent ramblings of Mike Lindell being played here at the Trump rally.
I mean, what
and
the hell?
It is really hard to follow the grammar and syntax and understand what it is he's trying to impart as a message, other than the fact it was rigged.
That's really all you need to know. Don't worry your pretty little self about it, Crute. He's got a judge somewhere that saw something and has a remedy. I mean, this is a guy, and this is how they do it, right? They make some grand prediction. It's going to be on this date and this thing, and this is going to happen. Of course, it never comes true. It never comes true. It never comes to fruition. I mean, we've seen all the Republicans at the J6 committee. Those are all mostly 99% Republicans that are testifying, appointed by, hired by Republicans, saying this was all bunk. It's all bunk. It's all bunk. But you got Mike Lindell, the pillow guy. Why does he count? Why does he matter? Why do Republicans listening to
money.
this? So what? So what? So do the U-Lines. I don't see them up there talking trash. I mean, this is insanity, man.
Well, the crowd is captivated, though.
Are they? Are they paying attention?
They kind of are, aren't they? They're all looking at the screen, those that are looking at the screen.
I mean,
the others are not looking at the screen.
So yeah, what a day here so far. We had
Adam Steen.
Don't forget Gableman started out with the prayer.
The opening invocation / prayer / God Save Trump sort of prequel.
Then we had Adam Steen, sent by God, endorsed by Trump. Right, he came out.
Mr. Clap on the microphone.
And then Janelle Brandtjen, Wisconsin
very
state
kissable, very kissable.
representative in charge of the election commission on the Republican side. She came out. That was also terrible.
Derek Van Orden.
Thankfully, we had a commercial break during most of her speech. Derek Van Orden, very Alex Jonesy. Again, he went out there to use campaign funds to go join the insurrection. And Michael's also yelling at everybody, and now we got Mike Lindell, the pillow guy. I mean, what? What we set the stakes, set it and forget it, man. We get all the infomercial guys out. This is what we're doing. This is who runs and is the leader of the Republican Party. It's an infomercial. It's an embarrassment.
Get your My Pillows 2 for 1 in the back.
Yeah, in the back of the van.
If you save some money, Dom, someday you'll be able to afford to live in a van down by the river or buy some fried food on a stick. We're here at the Waukesha County Fair. We're being regaled by the conspiracy theories of Mike Lindell on the screen, recorded prior at the CPAC conference in Texas. And, casting shade on the Republican Assembly Speaker, Robin Voss. Little red-on-red violence happening here in Waukesha County. The whole reason Trump's here is to stick it to Becky Clayfish and to endorse Robin Voss's opponent. And, of course, to entertain us, Dom. Are you not entertained?
I am not entertained.
More Devil's Advocates. We'll be back. Trump's hitting the stage soon, and we'll be hitting the bar.
We'll be back.
Wisconsin's fall partisan primary election day is Tuesday, August 9th. Once the polls close, tune to Devil Radio 92.7 FM for special coverage with your favorite hosts from 8 to 11 p.m. Mike Crute, Kristen Bry, Earl Ingram, and all their guests will break down results for both the Democratic U.S. Senate primary and the Republican gubernatorial primary. Political insight you won't find anywhere else. Devil Radio's special election night coverage, Tuesday, August 9th, 8 to 11.
The real estate market in Dane County and surrounding areas has been a bit of a hot mess this year. Listings are being picked off above asking prices and without the home inspection contingencies. I'm Todd Osborne, owner of Orion Inspections, and even if I weren't a home inspector, I'd still cringe a little if any of my friends or family tried to buy a home without an inspection. Let's take a good hard look at that house before you sign. Want to know more? I'm here to help. OrionInspections.com. That's Orion, like the constellation, inspections.com.
You are listening to WTTN 1580 AM Columbus, W224 EG Madison, always streaming on the Devil Radio app.
Hi, everyone. Listen to the Matt McNeil Show weekday afternoons at 3 p.m. on Devil Radio 92.7 and WTTN 1580 AM. 1 hour every weekday where we'll talk about all sorts of things like politics, especially with what's going on right now, plus other things too. Parenting, the arts, religion, music, beer. If it matters to Wisconsin and Minnesota, we'll talk about it. Phone calls are welcome at 952-946-6205. For 1 hour each day, come see the Trained Chimp, the Matt McNeil Show, 3 p.m. weekday afternoons right here on Devil Radio 92.7 and WTTN 1580 AM.
Jimmy, that last band told me they drove all the way to Beloit for gummies.
Do they know they can get gummies right here in Madison at Quality CBD?
No, I guess not.
Yeah, Delta 8 and 9, THCP, pre-rolls, even bath balls and kombucha. They have everything you need.
I'm going to send them down to Quality CBD right now, 1222 Williamson Street in Madison.
Or find them online at qualitycbd.org.
To Chicago, Miss Maddie starts calling me.
Knucklehead CBD and Vapes is now online at knuckleheads.shop. Step into your favorite smoke shop without leaving your home. Find grinders, papers, Delta 8 and more, all from your computer or phone. With free shipping on all orders over $50, you'll be sure to find exactly what you like. You can also order for in-store pickup so there's no wait. Knucklehead CBD and Vapes, located at 520 State Street in Madison. Order online today at knuckleheads.shop. With free shipping on all orders over $50, you'll be sure to find exactly what you like.
Hey, Liza, how does it feel to be a radio show host? It has been awesome. We have talked to so many interesting people.
Isn't that the truth? I've learned so much, been able to laugh, and really grown as a family caregiver.
Listen to the Empowered Caregiver Show with hosts Liza and Kristen each Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. Our show is here to lift up caregivers through education and support while also lifting up their invaluable role in society.
Be sure to tune in right here on Devil Radio 92.7 FM, WTTN 1580 AM.
To the Waukesha County Fair, awaiting Donald Trump to take the stage here. Dom, we're here for a Trump rally. Where's Trump? He's keeping Dom time right now.
I mean, this is some bunk, man.
He's supposed to be on the stage. They're playing Moon River. They're putting the crowd to sleep, Dom.
Putting me to sleep.
The shadows are getting long here over the Waukesha County Fair. I can smell the deep fried butter on a stick cooking in the back. Is that what I smell? Before I thought I smelled some cannabis. But, Dom, I want to point out there's one man who's going to be conspicuous by his absence tonight. Ron Johnson, of course. Where's Ron? Ron will not be here. Ron's taking the courageous stance that he doesn't endorse in the primaries, and therefore he doesn't have to be a part. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to come on down and get called on the stage. I want to talk to you about that, Ron. We've seen him embarrassed by the former president a few times at rally speeches. But let's talk about Mandela Barnes. He is the presumptive Democratic nominee for the U.S. Senate race. And Mandela Barnes is out slamming Rojo, and he's already on the campaign trail ahead of the primary. This from his campaign. This week, Governor Mandela Barnes, candidate for the U.S. Senate, U.S. Senator Ron Johnson, launching his first ad, holding Senator Johnson accountable for his record of outsourcing jobs. He also slammed Johnson for refusing to stand up for Wisconsin workers in Oshkosh. You'll recall that story, Dom, and threatening to strip Social Security and Medicare of annual funding. Now, I believe that's the number 2 trending story at thehill.com now, and I think Rojo said it like 3 days ago.
He said Schnuber was lying about it. He wants to save the programs. That's why putting it up for a vote every single year is an effort to save and preserve Social Security and Medicare, if you believe Ron Johnson, which of course I do not.
Mandela Barnes receiving endorsements in Oshkosh today. Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, the Democrat running for the U.S. was endorsed by the United Auto Workers of Wisconsin during a visit to Oshkosh Wednesday. That's 2 days ago at a news conference. The union called up incumbent Rojo. City didn't do enough to keep jobs in Wisconsin. The U.S. Postal Service was contracting Comcast Corporation to build new mail trucks. People, a quote from U.S. Senator wannabe candidate Mandela Barnes, soon to be U.S. Senator Mandela Barnes, on his statements. People like Ron Johnson, who had all the influence with large corporations and corporate exec, he had the opportunity to at least stand up and fight. He refused to. So, no Barnes answer. Andrew Stark of the UAW, Wisconsin State Community Action Program, noted Barnes is the son of the UAW worker and Rose. While Rojo was all too happy to ship 100,000 well-paid UAW jobs out of state, Mandela Barnes never failed to show up and fight for workers. UAW Wisconsin State Cap knows we can trust Mandela to go back for us in Washington. A little bit more coverage. Another statement. I wouldn't be here today if I were not for the guarantees of the union contracts that my parents had given Mrs. Mandela. I want every child in the state of Wisconsin to have at least the same opportunities that I had. Barnes is the UAW member, as pointed out. He spent his career defending Wisconsin union members. It's so important because this is another community that Ron Johnson has left behind. It's another people that Ron Johnson has taken for granted. One more, Barnes being quoted over on MSNBC, understanding this statement coming from his campaign. They're sharing all the good Mandela press. Ron Johnson is the self-serving, out-of-touch, ultra-millionaire politician who cares more about himself, more than the rest of the people in Wisconsin. It's exactly why I decided to run for the U.S. Senate to kick him out of office, because people are going to continue to be left behind as long as he is in office. And Mandela's hitting all across the state now. He's in Kenosha, he's in Milwaukee. Mandela's a busy man. Presumably, he's the U.S. senatorial candidate for the Democrats, and Ron Johnson's his opponent. And Ron ain't here, but I see helicopters circling. I wonder if Trump's in the chopper. Trump Force One, Dom? One must wonder. We are here in Waukesha. We're awaiting Donald Trump to take the stage. I'm not sure if they're going to fly him over from the airport or put him on a golf cart.
How very villages of them.
Oh, sorry about that, man. I'll put my feet down. I got my feet kind of kicked up here looking for a crowd. And you know what? The crowds are not turning out here on a Friday night. It's beautiful. You can't say the weather's a contributing factor because it's gorgeous. So, Dom, where are the good citizens of Waukesha tonight? Are they down at the Friday Night Live? Are they getting ready for high school football? That didn't start for a couple of weeks.
I mean, maybe insurrection just not as popular as you know they thought it would be.
Well, Dom, I would say the crowd is maybe swelled to 3,000 or 4,000. That is nothing close to the crowds I've seen at prior Trump rallies. Specifically, I think I told you the one in October back in Des Moines. That was ginormous. This much more modest, much more modest.
Less so. Well, as the news broke today, and we all knew it was probably going to happen, that the RNC, the MAGAs, come into Milwaukee for their convention. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reporting that within hours of the announcement Milwaukee would host the RNC, a coalition of liberal groups announced plans to demonstrate during the event that is 2 years away.
Doug, where are the protesters tonight? Where are no protesters in Waukesha County?
I mean, we're inside the press area, man. I don't know that there aren't any protesters, but I have not seen any. Let's stick to the RNC momentarily. A quote from Omar Flores, spokesman for the coalition. Today we stand here with our coalition partners to make our intentions clear to the RNC. We will not let the Republicans and their reactionary ideas flourish in Milwaukee. We will not let them visit without resistance and without letting it be known that they are not welcome here, regardless of what our city officials have said. The coalition is made up of groups including Freedom Road Socialist Organization, Milwaukee Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, Students for Democratic Society, UWM, Reproductive Justice Action, Milwaukee Coalition to Normalize Relations with Cuba, Leaders of Kenosha, Never Again Milwaukee, Midcoast MKE, ZAO MKE, and Community Task Force. And I would imagine perhaps, Curdy, that list will grow. Flores said that while city officials say the event will be an economic boost for Milwaukee residents, people in underserved communities such as Milwaukee's north and south sides are often overlooked. The majority of members in the coalition also helped organize coalition to march on the DNC. Flores said whether it's on the Democratic side or the Republican side, there are still things that they do that are against our agenda. So they're already starting to get in line for, 2 years? I mean, that's some planning, man.
Come on, man. That organization basically said both sides does it. We're going to protest everybody.
And they're going to protest the MAGA here, and I will be with them. Because we don't need 3%ers and Oath Keepers and Patriot Front and whatever their new name is walking around the streets of Milwaukee spouting that garbage, man. It's not going to go over well.
Someone just tweeted at us, show over.
I agree. Why are we promoting the Trumpsters here, man?
I'm not clear why we are. They're kind of turned to the oldies now, Dom. The playlist is here to put them to sleep. I'm not sure. Is Trump around? I see this helicopter continues to circle. They're looking for the overflow crowds. Where are the overflow crowds? You know, Trump was supposed to come August 20th, and they were selling tickets. And I think I pointed out there was a guy here this morning claiming he paid $1,400 for a ticket to the Trump event on August 20th, and he was getting stiffed, right? So they gave him makeup tickets. They said, come to the big event in Waukesha. We'll make it up to you. We'll give you VIP seating.
At the fair.
Maybe you'll get to meet Trump or something of the sort. And this helicopter continues to circle. Maybe it's a news chopper, Dom, or maybe they got the Cheeto Messiah jammed in there. He's looking for the crowd. But this is not a ginormous crowd. This is they might have more people downtown Waukesha partying at the Friday Night Live than they do right here at the Rally Down. I've seen big crowds. This is not a big crowd. And this is, I would say, no. There's no one in the wings. There's no one behind the riser. Even the press. I mean, Trump rally station. Down. Three riser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, maybe 20 cameras are down. 20 cameras. I mean, I got cameras up in front of the house when I get in the car in the morning.
Yeah, sure you do.
20 cameras, all the lives is a modest showing relative to the former stature of the former president. Kind of a flop for Trump, I'd say. We might have to broadcast forever because Trump may not come around. But I just hide out. Not enough crowd. You know, he's the ratings machine, right? If you don't get a big enough crowd, Trump ain't coming out. So
stiff him, Trump. Let us go home.
You know we ain't going home. We're going to a bar after this. Come back. We ain't done yet. Not until Trump takes the stage. Numbers it down. More Devil's Advocates live at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Do a special, extended, bonus coverage. Because Dom is so happy to be here. We just thought we'd do a little more radio for you fine folks. Come back with us. We'll throw Trump on the boob tube, Trump on the radio, and we'll go to the bar. More Devil's Advocates live from the Waukesha County Fair. It's the walk of life, Dom.
I see my red door, I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black.
You know what? I'll tell you something. There's nothing better than a hot sausage, couple 2-3 cold beers, and Devil Radio on a box. With better reception than their tinfoil hats, why listen to any other station? 92.7 FM and WTTN 1580 AM, Madison's home for Devil Radio.
Miss your favorite show? Find our entire podcast library at devilradio927.com.
Wisconsin's fall partisan primary election day is Tuesday, August 9th. Once the polls close, tune to Devil Radio 92.7 FM for special coverage with your favorite hosts from 8 to 11 p.m. Mike Crute, Kristen Bry, Earl Ingram, and all their guests will break down results for both the Democratic U.S. Senate primary and the Republican gubernatorial primary. Political insight you won't find anywhere else. Devil Radio's special election night coverage, Tuesday, August 9th, 8 to 11.
And we're back. Hey, it's Noemi, the host of IPOS On Air. Tune in to IPOS On Air every Friday at 7 p.m., only on Devil Radio 92.7 FM. Join us to discuss our progress in creating the first project-based, student-directed, interdisciplinary climate justice high school course in the Madison School District, and hear from climate leaders throughout the world to find out how you can work towards a more sustainable and equitable future. Again, that's Fridays at 7 p.m., only on Devil Radio 92.7 FM. That's the sauce.
From Up North News, I'm Pat Kreitlow. Senator Tammy Baldwin says the Inflation Reduction Act, set to pass Congress this weekend, will take the boldest action on climate change in the nation's history. It'll make it easier to buy cars that don't burn fossil fuels and make houses more energy efficient. Quite a week between that bill, the one helping veterans exposed to burn pits, an Al-Qaeda leader killed, gas prices at a 50-day low, and a new jobs report showing unemployment at a 50-year low. I guess it's a case of Dems in array. Anyhow, on our radio show, we visited with Susan Lampert-Smith, who writes features for us that take us on road trips around Wisconsin. You can get some great weekend ideas from her. Just catch us as a podcast if you can't listen live on Apple or Spotify, and listen live by going to the Facebook page of our Wausau station, Bull Falls Radio. More in our newsletter. Sign up for it at upnorthnewswi.com.
We are back. Thank you for listening to the Devil's Advocates radio show live from the Trump Treason Tour 2022. Christina Bobb taking the stage. She's the one that financed Janelle Brandon and a bunch of Wisconsin legislators their trip down to check out the Cyber Ninjas, which actually ultimately gave Biden more votes. But nonetheless, let's hear what this lunatic has to say.
Crazy Christina, live from the Trump rally stage.
He's on his way. He's excited to talk to you. He's excited to see this amazing crowd. You came out on a Friday. I'm so excited for you to hear what he's got to say and the great leaders that he's got planned for Wisconsin, one of which I'm honored to introduce, and I can't wait for y'all to vote for him on Tuesday, your gubernatorial America First candidate, Tim Michels.
She's got a whole stack of MAGA hats, Tom. Everyone needs a MAGA hat. Give Michels a MAGA hat. She's just throwing them in the crowd now. Oh, Michels has got a whole stack of MAGA hats, too. Not to be out MAGA, Dom. MAGA hats. Throw them out. People are very excited about these.
Yes. Free swag. If it's free, it's for me, and I'll take 3. Oh, this is really exciting. I'm glad we can bring this to the people.
Yes, this is dynamic radio at its best. MAGA hats. Oh, that was a poor effort, young man. They're throwing out MAGA hats.
All right, everybody. I just got off the phone with President Trump. Are you ready for him?
Is he here, or is he calling in from Mar-a-Lago?
He said, you go out there, Tim, and you tell everybody that global warming cannot keep me from getting to Wisconsin.
Ha ha ha. It's summer. It's 83. Ha ha.
He said he's going to be on the ground here in about maybe 40 minutes or so. He's coming straight up here. Hang in there. President Trump is on the way. He said, Tim, how's the crowd looking? I'm like, Mr. President, the crowd is so fired up. It's an unbelievable crowd. They can't wait to see you.
If you believe Tim Michels, he's got more employees
You'll stay all night?
In this crowd today.
Did you camp out last night?
No.
Since Wednesday you've been here. All right, I love it.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday.
All right, well, it's a beautiful night here in Wisconsin and Waukesha. Just a little bit longer. President Trump wants me to introduce a friend of Donald Trump, Alex Brucewitz. Alex, come on up here.
Who? Ellis, this was allow myself to introduce myself. You got anybody else that could come out, please talk? Anybody? Crute? No?
What's up, Wisconsin?
What's up, man? Who are you again?
How we doing tonight?
Good. Who are you?
Are you guys ready for the 45th?
What?
And the 47th President of the United States of America?
I thought he's the 46th as well. Sounds like he's been drinking, man. I know.
Let's be honest, guys. He won in 2020, right?
No, he did not win in 2020.
So the last time I gave a speech in Wisconsin, it was a cold fall day, November 5th, 2021, 2 days after the rigged election.
Oh, my God, dude.
And I gave a speech, and I said, can we have some transparency?
Yes,
I was outside of the Wisconsin State Capitol. And how do you guys feel about your State Attorney General, Josh Kaul?
Excellent. He's a great Attorney General. I hope he's
a loser. That's exactly right.
Scheme.
So Josh Kaul goes, if you ask for transparency about elections, you're a threat to democracy. I have a message for you, Josh, and I had a message for you back then. It's not a threat to democracy to ask for free and fair elections. It is a threat to democracy to rig elections.
Wow, man.
Because I spoke out,
this is propaganda,
like so
dude.
many of you
how do we
after the election,
keep playing this?
A young guy who cries a lot on national television named Adam Kinzinger sent me a subpoena.
Yeah, you gonna honor it?
And then I went on Tucker Carlson's show and I told little Adam to go to hell.
Oh, tough guy.
Yeah.
Think about this. Adam Kinzinger alleges that he was an Air Force veteran, but I don't know too many Air Force veterans that cry on national TV. They're usually tough, right?
Are you making fun of veterans right now?
Pretty sure he is.
Was Adam Kinzinger the
you gotta be the right kind of veteran. You gotta be the right kind of patriot.
I like the kind of veterans that don't lie on TV.
It's almost as if Adam Kinzinger was eating the alternative protein products, a.k.a. bugs and soy, before the Navy started right now.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
But anyway, for those who don't know me, I'm Alex Brucewitz. I'm the CEO of X Strategies, LLC.
Thank you.
We work all across the country to help elect pro-Trump, America First patriots like Marjorie Taylor Greene,
What?
Lance Gooded, Byron Donalds, all of the America First patriots, and a lot more help is on the way. But I grew up in a small town called Ripon, Wisconsin. Do you guys know Ripon? Ripon is famous for being the birthplace of the Republican Party. But I'm sorry, I have to make an announcement. It's the birthplace of the old Republican Party. The new Republican Party was born in June of 2015 at Trump Tower in New York City.
Wow. Yep. There you go. So long, Lincoln. Rolling over in your grave.
And we must not go back to the days of old, feckless, cowardly Republicans like Paul Ryan.
Former Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan from Wisconsin.
And Robin Vos.
It's almost like the Republican Party of Wisconsin is in disarray.
Bush and Dan Crenshaw both the rhinos the hell out of office.
Yes. Wow.
This new generation of pro-Trump, America First fighters will fight for you each and every day because President Trump taught them how to fight and how to win, and we're not going back.
This guy's a
And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you one of the future leaders of the Republican Party. My friend, America First patriot, and candidate for Congress in Ohio's 9th Congressional District, J.R. Majewski.
J.R. Majewski?
What is going on?
God bless you all. Get out to vote for Tim Michels for governor, Adam Steen for District 63. And my friends, we are going to turn out like never before in 2024
look at
to
this
make sure
Nobody
Donald
guy.
J. Trump is reelected for a third time.
I think the guy fell off the back of the Harley on the way over, Dom.
Well, that was very interesting.
This guy's.
Oh, my buddies, the Front Row Joes. Love the Front Row Joes.
Front Row
Good
Joe.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a special thank you to Team Trump and President Trump for all of their hard work, inspiring us to wake up every day.
You should give some of your volunteers bottles of water. It's hot out here.
Thank you, Team Trump. And I know President Trump's going to hear us when he gets here. Thank you to all of you for keeping hope in our hearts. My name is J.R. Majewski, and my pronouns are patriot and ass kicker.
Oh, you see what he did there, Dom?
Yeah, they dig deep.
I'm the guy from Ohio that decided to turn his beautiful lakefront property into the world's largest Trump 2020 banner during the election last year.
What a jackass. Why would you do that?
20,000 square feet of goodness.
Wow. I mean, it's a cult, man.
The liberals loved it.
Is that what qualifies you to be a congressional candidate?
I'm also proud to say that I'm a military veteran. That's right. And I'm signing up for my second
The good
tour of
kind,
duty,
though,
ladies
not
and
the kind that
gentlemen.
cries on
Like the great folks in Wisconsin, Governor Michaels, who's going to take this state back.
Back where? Back to
I'm also proud to
1849.
say that I grew up in the worst hood in my district. Blue-collar family, Democratic family.
I find your lack of Devil Radio 92.7 disturbing.
It's going to kick some ass. You better get on that train. Spent my career in the nuclear power industry and worked very, very hard. Started at the bottom and worked my way all up to the top. And I've dealt with some of the most dangerous material known to men, which is spent nuclear fuel. And starting in January, I'm going to deal with the most dangerous material known to men now in the United States, and that's the Democratic Party. Marcy Kaptur's getting her ass kicked. You're right. I'm going to send her into retirement. 40 years too long. My opponent has been in office for 40 years, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? We call her Marcy Kaptur in the 9th District of Ohio. She votes 100% in step with Nancy Pelosi, and if you haven't seen the news, she likes to stick her fingers in Joe Biden's mouth when he comes to Ohio. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm really not, but I'm going to get in trouble. Now, despite my body type, I didn't come to Wisconsin because I love cheese. I came here to support President Trump and your future governor, Tim Michels. We drove 6 hours here because we love this country. And I'm going to ask my wife for permission to spend the night because she didn't get to come see President Trump. Seriously, folks, there's no more room for compromise. They have stomped on our liberties. They have destroyed this country in the little time that they've been in power. And it's our job in this next Congress to block and tackle and save the liberties that we have left in preparation for the greatest president that this country has ever seen, Donald J. Trump, to come back into office. And folks, I'm going to be the white version of Terry Tate, the linebacker. I'm going to be blocking and getting people out of the way, and we're going to have a Congress that's going to do something. And imagine how much is going to get done by President Trump when he has people that are loyal to him.
That's what he lacked prior.
That's right. I'm a fire starter, folks.
Gotta have the loyalty.
Check me out, J.R. Majewski, the number 4Congress.com. I'll leave you with all of this. As a veteran, I used to wake up every day willing to risk my life.
Why is this
for what I
dude
thought this
from the
country
Buckeye State
stood
here
for.
at a Trump rally in Waukesha?
And I've been fighting every day.
Because
during
it's the
this
cult,
election
man. You
cycle.
travel for the cult.
And I've woken up every day wondering,
but why would you drive
how much I'm
6
going to have to
hours
risk and whether or
to go
not it's going
speak
to be
to a
my
crowd
life
in Wisconsin
to save
you
my
know,
family,
hoping to get $100
my friends,
in donations,
and our country.
Because I think they're all saving it
from what
for the
it's
Busch
become.
Light stand after the speech.
And I want you all to
I don't
take
think there
that
was
to
any
heart,
beer here.
because it is tough to run for office. You have to be built from steel.
Well, no wonder
little
why the
chubby,
crowd's not here.
to do it. You got to love this country, and we do. We need your support, every one of you out there. The Trump train is running hot. If you got big shoulders like me, grab a shovel because it needs a lot of coal.
Tell you what, Evan, probably a great time to take a break. We are live at a Donald Trump rally.
My primary election was
We're
tough.
waiting on Trump.
I mentioned my father.
And I mean, Trump ain't going to be good, but this guy's really, really bad.
Before my
let's take a
election.
break, Evan. We'll come back. We'll wait.
I won't get emotional
for Donald Trump, then we're getting the hell out of here. You could hear the speech. We'll be looking for
my father loved
Natty
President
Light
Trump.
beer
My
stand.
mother loves President Trump. I love
More
President Trump.
Devil's
You love
Advocates
President
bonus
Trump,
coverage
and the country
live
loves
from a
him.
Donald Trump
I
rally
love all
in
of you in
Waukesha.
return.
Come
God
on
bless
back.
you. God bless Wisconsin.
Devil Radio, your fix for progressive news talk from Black Earth to Columbus. Always streaming at DARNWI.com.
And more than twice the U.S. population, with many of those in acute need. I'm Tim McGuire.
I'm Tiffany Haddish.
And I'm Marlon Wayans. African Americans are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer than any other racial or ethnic group.
When you or someone you love is facing a pancreatic cancer diagnosis, access to cutting-edge treatment can help make long-term survival possible and improve future patient outcomes.
That's why Stand Up to Cancer and the Lust Garden Foundation have teamed up to bring over 30 pancreatic cancer clinical trials to those who need them.
Learning all you can about pancreatic cancer, including treatment options and what clinical trials are available, can give you or a loved one even more than hope. It can help make long-term survival possible.
For more information about the latest pancreatic cancer research and clinical trials near you, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
Furnished by Stand Up to Cancer.
Wisconsin's fall partisan primary election day is Tuesday, August 9th. Once the polls close, tune to Devil Radio 92.7 FM for special coverage with your favorite hosts from 8 to 11 p.m. Mike Crute, Kristen Bry, Earl Ingram, and all their guests will break down results for both the Democratic U.S. Senate primary and the Republican gubernatorial primary. Political insight you won't find anywhere else. Devil Radio's special election night coverage, Tuesday, August 9th, 8 to 11.
And we're back. Hey, it's Noemi, the host of IPOS On Air. Tune in to IPOS On Air every Friday at 7 p.m., only on Devil Radio 92.7 FM. Join us to discuss our progress in creating the first project-based, student-directed, interdisciplinary climate justice high school course in the Madison School District, and hear from climate leaders throughout the world to find out how you can work towards a more sustainable and equitable future. Again, that's Fridays at 7 p.m., only on Devil Radio 92.7 FM. That's the sauce.
From Up North News, I'm Pat Kreitlow. Senator Tammy Baldwin says the Inflation Reduction Act, set to pass Congress this weekend, will take the boldest action on climate change in the nation's history. It'll make it easier to buy cars that don't burn fossil fuels and make houses more energy efficient. Quite a week between that bill, the one helping veterans exposed to burn pits, an Al-Qaeda leader killed, gas prices at a 50-day low, and a new jobs report showing unemployment at a 50-year low. I guess it's a case of Dems in array. Anyhow, on our radio show, we visited with Susan Lampert-Smith, who writes features for us that take us on road trips around Wisconsin. You can get some great weekend ideas from her. Just catch us as a podcast if you can't listen live on Apple or Spotify, and listen live by going to the Facebook page of our Wausau station, Bull Falls Radio. More in our newsletter. Sign up for it at upnorthnewswi.com.
To the Devil's Advocates bonus coverage. We're supposed to be done by now, Dominic. We are live at the Waukesha County Fair, awaiting the arrival, us and a throng of nearly 3,500, awaiting the former President of the United States, They've regaled us with speeches and chants of "lock him up."
Lock up
Biden,
Hunter
right?
Biden. I mean, talk like
Even in the crowd that didn't really gain momentum.
It's a rehash, of course, of all the old chants. It's we've seen this dozens of times, Curdy.
Well, are you talking about the Village People's Macho Man?
I'm talking about the Trump scene, man. I mean, it's the same, and actually, in some regards, I guess it's a little more vitriolic than it was. Some of these folks that are coming up, running for office, are talking about how important it is and how it's going to be different this time when Trump, who already won, 2020, now he's going to win again in 2024, and how this time he's going to have a loyal Congress, to rely on, and you got to get rid of the rhinos like Paul Ryan, former Speaker of the House, like Robin Voss, Assembly in the state of Wisconsin. The establishment said that the new Republican Party was born at Trump Tower. I mean, the Republican Party they're putting a cigarette on his ass right now.
Tom, you recall Donald Trump's inauguration speech? The American dream is dead. Well, yes, it is. And we're here to cover it for you. At Donald Trump rally in Waukesha. We've been assured the Cheeto Messiah will make his way here soon.
I don't believe it. It's going to be another hour before that jackass shows up.
Just because
no drinks here for us. Like, I don't even, the weeds in the car, man. I mean, what are you trying to do to me here, dude?
Well, Dom, I'll read you a little headline here.
All right, make me feel better.
Raw story. There's no divorcing the GOP from disgusting racism and fascism. Do you know Orban gave a speech at CPAC?
Yes, I did know that. This is a guy that's has a big problem with the mixing of the races.
On Friday's edition of MSNBC's The Beat, Kurt Bardella, a former GOP operative and Breitbart staffer turned Democratic advisor, laid into Republicans at CPAC in Dallas for cheering on speakers openly promoting Christian nationalism and the erosion of democracy.
Yay!
Well, we've heard a little of that ourselves here at the big Trump rally in Waukesha, but I read on. One of the key moments of the gathering was a speech delivered by Viktor Orban, the strongman Prime Minister of Hungary. What is disgusting? Pardon me, let me try that again. What is that disgusting display by on domestic U.S. soil telling you about the GOP? Asked anchor Katie Fang. What you're seeing, Katie, is the Republican Party wrap their arms around the autocratic white nationalist ideals and cementing that as the platform of the party going forward. Make no mistake about it, right now there is no divorcing the Republican Party from racism. Every single candidate that is on the ballot with an R next to their name in November, you own this. Your refusal to speak out against it, your participation in it, the fact that you cater and pander to the audience at CPAC that is cheering on these very dangerous and disgusting ideals, you own this. Bardella continued, condemning Republican silence as complicity. A little bit more, Dom.
I'll jump in here, Crute. It would not be hard for any member of the Republican Party to denounce what we're hearing right now. Things that are repulsive, repugnant, have no place on the. They're not going to do that. They're going to hide. They're going to embrace. They're going to high five. They're going to cheer it on because to them, the white America, and we're hearing these figures, is exactly what they want to do to this country. They're not trying to hide it. They've basically taken off their hoods and exposed themselves for what they are. Yeah, I'll back and bring it because it's how's this guy get a standing ovation up in that kind of fascist, racist trash? Well, there's only one reason. Because that is exactly the kind of thing that the Republicans that see back with the MAGA, what they want to hear, what they're all about. Got to hold on to that white power, baby.
Hold on loosely. Don't ever let go, Dom. Should we try to take some calls? Maybe later. I don't know if we really need to be taking calls at the Trump rally. Waukesha, the breezes come up nicely. Give you a little weather report as we near sundown. It's a sunny, about 82 degrees. light southerly breezes blowing across the MAGA
I
crowd.
don't know what the traffic is, but based on the crowd, it's probably pretty light. We talked about it briefly. I want to throw it out there again. From the Washington Post, a Texas jury has determined InfoWars Alex Jones must pay the parents of a Sandy Hook school shooting victim $45.2 million in punitive damages. The Friday decision came a day after the same jury awarded plaintiffs $4.1 million in compensatory damages, culminating the final phase of a defamation case first brought in 2018, 4 years ago, over Jones's repeated false claims of the deadliest elementary school shooting in U.S. history. Jones was in court as the jury read this verdict. The damages phase of the trial influential purveyor of conspiracies had faced financial repercussions in court for the outlandish lies he told via simple broadcast shooting. The early days that followed the 2012 shooting that killed 26 people, including 20 Jones on his program that no one died. The attack was a staged by gun control advocates. Let's see what else.
You can't say it any longer. Real little too.
Friday, a forensics and former she testified that he estimated the combined net worth of Jones' entity will be between $135 million and $270 million. He said she cannot separate